Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the KONTAINEROZ podcast. The podcast is sponsored by PortPro, the leading operating system for drayage carriers. Schedule a demo today at portpro.io, and don't forget to mention KONTAINEROZ for 10% off. Sorry, guys.
You have to mention to get the 10%.
Yeah.
Is what I found out.
Anyway, today in the studio I have
Thomas
and
Ricky from Ricky's Transport.
from Ricky's Transport.
speaking to the mic, Ricky.
Ricky's Transport.
It's aiming at the wall,
okay.
not at your face.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. So, Ricky's Transport.
Yes.
Share a little about yourself, and who wants to go first?
I'll go first. I started in trucking probably in 2012 as a dispatcher. A buddy got me a job as a dispatcher at a pretty large company here in Chino. From there, I was promoted to operations manager. After a couple years, so about 2016, I went out and started my own company with a buddy. That kind of went sour. And I think then I met Ricky in 2019, probably middle of 2019.
2019? Yeah, it was when the pandemic had started.
Yeah. And then Ricky and I helped Ricky. We grew Ricky's Transport to where we are today, and that's how I started.
Something went sour, and you didn't learn your lesson. You had to go and do something with Ricky now.
Exactly. I've heard that many of times, especially
Yeah.
my wife. When we first started, she's like, "You're gonna do this again," and so
And it's funny because he had told me I literally just got screwed over probably like 3 months ago.
Yeah.
And he goes, and we didn't even know each other. So
we didn't know we had just met in the middle of 2019, and we started the company
And then he's
end of
like,
2019.
yeah, by November we started already, pretty much Ricky's Transport.
Or was it? Yeah.
Yeah, November. Got the first. Oh no, October. The last week of October, we got the first loads. But the funny part is the same thing. Everybody would tell me, "Oh, you're crazy for trusting another guy."
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's how I started.
It's a large amount of money. So that's how I started in the industry is as a dispatcher. Never had any want to be in anywhere near trucking, and just a job came up that
Yeah.
paid well, and I was working minimum wage. So obviously that's a big jump. So that's how I started in trucking.
What about you, Ricky?
Pretty much trucking. I got my license when I was 21. Went over the road, 48 states. With Warner, got my license, and from there, once you get a year experience, jump in job to job until you get comfortable. And then at 2017, I think I got my own truck, owner op, over the road, stuff like that, and then started doing port work, and pretty much it. And I was a port driver working with my own numbers, getting from brokers and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then that's when one of my buddies gave me his number, and we just connected. And I got off the truck. He helped me out.
That's what was different is when Ricky and I met. I work off of vibes and good spirits, and when I met Ricky, I could tell
your vibe checker was broken back then. I guess.
No, it was good back then. When the company that I got screwed over at, it was between me and the guy. It was good. There was a third party that was an investor. That was in his ear. That's what turned sour.
Okay.
But so with Ricky, I'm glad with Ricky it's just me and him. So again, the vibe checked out. So
We pretty much had both what he wanted and what I wanted.
our goals were very similar. Our paths were very similar. Our mindset and our what we wanted to accomplish in life lined up.
And we didn't really have nothing going for ourselves, so I might as well risk it.
Why not?
Yeah.
We just had the money for it, and I had the buddies who owner-operators as well. And luckily, company drivers, and it all clicked, to be honest.
Everything clicked up pretty well. It's funny because Ricky, look, when I say I met Ricky, we talked for a few minutes one day. I think the week later we talked for a few more minutes, and a couple weeks later we're putting in a lot of money into start a company, and we have just met each other for a total of maybe 15, 20 minutes. So, but we were on the phone a lot talking, and so again, it was the vibe check that, like you said, that checked out.
But with that first conversation, why? Like, why'd you even contact him? It was about
Okay,
like,
so,
because he knew what's up with dispatch or what?
That's the thing. So he was doing, like I told you, I was a truck driver as well, and he got his license after he got screwed over.
Yeah.
So he was doing
Okay.
port as well. So he was doing a delivery, I think Albertson,
I was doing Albertsons in Irvine, if anybody knows. Where
and
that's at.
then
Yeah.
he met one of my buddies, and he goes, "Oh, you want to come to do port work?"
We were in line checking in, and just some guy had a nice, I think he has a Peterbilt. I don't know what he had. He had a nice truck. I started talking to him, and he said he does just drive in. And I said, well, why don't you do port work? This is what, we could make, and it was just me. I wanted to build another company. So I just started talking to this guy, and he's like, well, I don't do that, but I have a friend that does that. Let me, I'll call him and see if he wants to call you. Mm-hmm. And then a couple of days later, I don't know what their conversation was. But...
Well, it started off because he would ask me how much are you getting paid to go to Chino and stuff like that. And I would tell him, he'll be like, what the hell, are you serious? And then he started telling me about detention and about chassis and shit like that. And I was like, well, for me, that's normal. Waiting for chassis. And
he didn't approve of the numbers you gave.
Yeah, exactly. So he was like, but why? And I'm like, I wasn't new to port, but the rates were the same. You get me?
Yeah.
So I was comfortable. And then he goes, well, I know how to start a company. He goes, if you're down, he goes, you have your own truck. And I told him, well, I have buddies that do port work, but they're leased onto companies. They're leased onto one of the harbor companies over here.
So now it was a matter of making them lease onto Ricky's.
No one's leased onto us.
Not yet.
No, none.
No.
I think we got everybody. Everybody has their own numbers and authority. Mm. It's more about creating what I was telling Ricky when we first started is. Just creating the foundation of getting the work, being able to get it, and then dispatch drivers, owner operators primarily.
But companies, we have 8 company trucks.
Yeah, and then from there we bought company trucks. But again, the initial conversation was, Ricky, you're not getting
what you have to get,
what you deserve. Not a lot of port truckers do not get what they deserve for the time that they put in. So I told Ricky, this is what we can do. These are the rates. We can pay drivers more. Obviously, I'm not thinking we're going to have 20 trucks. Right now, it's just you and me. We can start it. And then grow from there. And then I showed them the first 1 or 2 meetings was me showing them canceled checks from the previous company, emails, settlements, like what we can make,
He was trying to tell me, like, I actually had a company. Because, like I said, he could have just been telling me shit and I didn't even know.
When I tell him, hey, I did $2.5 million a year in revenue, and I'm trying to prove to him because I want him to get on board and say, hey, okay, let's start, And then,
I can't concentrate because I keep hearing that bang.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I speak with my hands. I know a lot of guests say that. I speak with my hands. I'm putting them down here.
No, now you look like you're on timeout and shit.
Oh, man. I'm going to put one hand.
It's my fault. It's my choice of,
Is it because it's hollow or not?
It's because of, it's a patio table,
I know it's a patio table, but.
And it's really, like, thin.
Yeah.
So it kind of just, the
it's
vibration.
A lot of, okay.
I'm working on it. I got some, I'm going to put something down there. I just haven't had time.
You know what? You hear it. You do hear it in the mic, but you don't hear it on the videos.
Oh, no?
I don't know if you watch the videos at PAC. Yeah, you don't hear it on the videos.
Well, sometimes
I'm always like, why is Lewis
So
always...
now I assume...
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
yeah,
so now,
like,
this is one of those situations
Lewis,
then. Dude, why the fuck did you...
Stop harassing the guests.
Why did you interrupt them if it didn't even pick it up?
He did tell me.
And then you do the no homo.
So then it's like the no... I don't know what the fuck to do, bro. Like, so now it's like, I'll just tell the guy, like, don't bang the table. Like, instead of, like... And you're like, so now if they didn't hear it, now it looks like, why is Lewis
what are they talking about? Yeah.
Why is it, or when they don't talk it to the mic and then I do this, it just looks fucking rude,
It's like, let me put my finger in your mouth.
Put the mic in your mouth. Shit. But okay, look at that. Fucking 5 minutes of just mumbo jumbo because I heard that. Where were we?
Ricky and I started, so again...
Oh, yeah, you showed him canceled checks and all this stuff.
All the settlements. I said, hey, these are the customer... I had one large customer that I know. I've worked with them since my first dispatch company. So I know, I built a relationship with them as far as good customer service and being truthful and honest about what was going on with their loads. So they followed me to that second company, and then I've talked to them, and they said, we'll follow you with your new company. So I told Ricky, we have a customer that will come and will give us work. We just need to create that foundation again with our SCAT code, UIIA, all our endorsements and authority and everything to be able to pull the loads.
Which it was funny because at first he was telling me how much it is and how much he needs. And obviously we're going halves. And I'm like, and you're like, oh yeah, just give me a check or just, like, okay, yeah.
Yeah,
let me
well,
give you,
it was
give you
funny.
money. I don't
Yeah,
even know
yeah.
what the hell we're doing.
Right.
And
So I told Ricky, I was like, hey, the investment initially is probably $25,000 to get everything going. 25, 30,000. I didn't think or take into account the overhead of just running the loads as far as fuel, insurance, driver pay,
Yeah,
so
because now you
that-
activated something, but you forgot about the rest.
Right. Yeah. So
And
we've
that's just
got
the start.
That we got the start.
And to
but
top it off, customer doesn't pay until after 3 months.
Yeah.
And the holidays.
Luckily, this customer was again I
Like
built that
someone-
relationship, so they did pay us in 30 days. Our first customer did. When we got our customer base, our driver base large enough to where went out and got a large customer that had volume. That's where we ran into a lot of problems.
Yeah.
So we were in debt. We were
getting loans. We were
getting a lot of loans, a lot of credit cards. We had a lot of money sunk into it. We knew we would get it back. It was just at what point we would make it back, and if we were going to be able to sustain our personal lives.
Until then.
Yeah.
Especially because luckily, the guys that started with us are my buddies, and that they have their authority and shit. But we would give them like bonuses, like, hey, wait extra days and we'll pay you. Customers not paying right now. We have to wait. So luckily they understood.
Any driver that couldn't wait, we understand. If drivers work, they should get paid. We never, if anybody said no, I need the money, we would pay them. We'd find a way to pay them.
Yeah, because you don't blame someone else. Because the minute you give in the work, you're
taking responsibility for it. So it was the drivers that were, again, a lot of them were his friends. Actually, are his friends. So they were able to say, okay, I'll wait till Monday or Tuesday, and we give them an extra $200 or whatever it was, to wait those
until we
couple
started
you
getting
gave them
paid
your
weekly.
profit so they could wait.
Yeah.
So we started getting
For now.
weekly now,
Nice.
so we're good now. I mean, luckily we grew too fast now that
Now we're at the point where
It owns you.
yeah.
But that's a good problem to have.
If we stopped, all of our credit and our debt would catch up and surpass us, and then we'd be in trouble again where money wasn't coming in. So that's a good problem to have.
Yeah, I guess.
But now we're stuck. So that brings us to the point of Ricky's logo as prisoner of the road, because you're stuck. You're a prisoner of the trucking industry. And he went as far as tattooing it on himself.
This was before
This is
before
on his
everything.
left arm.
This is when I was.
Where?
Yeah.
Go,
Show the
go.
camera.
You ain't down to go.
Nah.
You ain't down to
Show the camera.
We'll put a picture later. I got this when I was over the road, 48 states. When I was pretty much on my own, and I had the logo when I started the company on my truck and everything. So I just told Tom, I already have a logo in mind. If you're down to use mine, Ricky's Transport. I mean, even though it's called Ricky's Transport, it's both of us. Ricky's Transport is just the company.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna ask. Like, at what point, you could have said, "Why not Thomas Transport?" But it was already established, so you just went with
No, it
that,
wasn't
or-
established. It was just Ricky, his truck, and his logo.
I was just an LLC. I was an LLC before he was an LLC too. But since I kind of had my license longer and everything, it worked out better on my end. To get
Insurance
the
wise,
UIA.
it's better on him.
And then just,
but that really didn't that wasn't a factor. It was more of, I don't care whose name is on it. The money's still the same. The money's always green.
It's still half.
It doesn't matter who's the face. The logo is what really attracted me. That was probably one of the nicest logos, sickest logos that I've seen in a while. Next to yours.
oh no, I didn't give you any weird look.
He was dogging me. If you can't see him.
I saw you kicked in the floor.
Yeah. So again, it's a logo that really attracts people, right? You see it on the truck, and it looks good. And some logos are just like my logo. It was just a truck. It said IE Trucking, and it was an American flag on the truck, and it was it was semi basic.
Yeah.
That's very unique. So.
And then obviously
we get a lot of drivers tell us we have I don't know, 10 trucks with that logo on it. The drivers tell us that a lot of people come up to them and say what a nice logo, what a cool logo it is.
And then aside from that, with the trucks are pretty much we separated because we still have his company, but we just kind of separated, obviously for it helps us out.
Allegedly for legal reasons.
Yeah.
It's two separate companies, but it's same logo.
Yeah.
Instead of Ricky's, it just says IE.
So that's a way of not putting all the eggs in one basket, or what?
Yeah, exactly.
Just in case something happens with one of them, we still have the other one.
would you say that's kind of like negative thinking in a way? Like, why not go all in on one and fuck?
No, because if something happens, then you're all in and you lost.
Insurance wise as well.
If you're just starting,
because everyone's suing everyone nowadays.
yeah,
aside from
too.
that.
But to your point, all your eggs in one basket when you're starting. Yeah, always put all your eggs in that basket, because if that's what you believe in, then do it. When you start growing and you realize now it's a liability to have all your eggs in one basket,
Okay.
you need to branch out. You need to not have all your money, your eggs, all your assets in one basket.
Okay.
Yeah.
But at first,
Go all in. Do everything. Yeah.
so basically, the second basket you could afford to fund it and create it. So
Yeah. So the second
Yeah,
basket
yeah.
was my basket. We put our company trucks under that basket. Pretty much all our company trucks.
Aside
And then
cause-
we bought chassis, so all our chassis are under Ricky's.
Aside from that, the UIA for now it's being
UIA.
more strict on insurance wise, so
Yeah.
it's more
Lot-
expensive. Knowing
A lot
that,
of insurance carriers are dropping UIA endorsements and not doing them. So there's only a handful to pick. And then there's super strict requirements. So Ricky has the
I had it longer. My company,
he had his
so
license
it
longer
helped
and his
out.
company open longer, so it was easier for him to be the face of the trucking company that we're doing.
this whole UIA and how to get started in the ports. A lot of people ask, how do I get started? Like really, like not to
With
be
it,
owner op and leased on.
To get everything
How to
yourself.
get everything. Like are you guys able to do a quick little like run through?
I've done
Or is
3
there-
or 4 companies already.
Do you know the specific order, or does it matter?
No, I actually have it written down, but I turned my phone off. And
Okay.
I've actually helped. Not only have I done personally 3 or 4 companies, I've helped 2 other people do their companies. So they would call me with questions. I found them on Facebook groups. You know, they would. Somebody was trying to charge to set up this guy's company, and I was like, dude, just call me. I'll help you. Like, I'll tell you the order and the steps for free. Like,
Even
Can
the
you freestyle
insurance-
some of that right
the
now?
insurance
Whatever you
companies
could remember.
The insurance companies could tell you as well.
yeah, the main thing is you have to find every insurance guy or broker or whatever that you call them. They're gonna tell you, yeah, I can do it. And then again, specifically UIA endorsement, there's only a handful of carriers that will do it. So you need to find an insurance broker that will do the endorsement. That's the first step.
Why do they need that?
I have no idea. It's whatever the city and the ports accept.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a liability and a risk, I think, for the insurance carrier. So I think that's why not a lot of people do it. Like Progressive, everybody knows Progressive. They used to do it. I think they stopped doing it a couple years ago because they were, whatever reason, losing too much money, or it was too big of a risk for them. So
Is it based on the claims that could stem from
That's what I
that
think.
business?
yeah,
The same thing with my insurance. Doesn't let me get more than 3 trucks. The same thing.
Yeah,
because of
you
the
can't
UIA.
grow too fast.
he's limited to growth,
Yeah.
which is
And
crazy.
if I have UIA, this is the same thing. It's kind of like if you go to this one, you cannot get more than 3 trucks, but you could get UIA. And for him, he could get as many trucks, but he can't get UIA.
Yeah.
So it's kind of that's why we're like.
So
this
again,
is-
that goes
it's
back
crazy.
to that's why we're in different baskets, is because
Okay.
Ricky can't grow, but he can get UIA. I can grow.
So that's how
it's
it-
expensive, but
It works good because a lot of people have asked me the same thing, and they think it's easy, but I'm like, no. I found Thomas, and luckily we both have what we both need from each side.
Yeah.
So it's kind of you have to find your own Thomas.
it's also
pretty
the
much.
money. Yeah,
Yeah,
find your own Thomas. That's not easy.
Not this Thomas?
No, find another Thomas.
This is my
Actually,
Thomas.
matter of fact, call me. Maybe we could work something out.
Hey, estás celoso.
He gets
getting all
jealous.
red. And when you take that sip, that's it. Trying to cool down.
No, it also costs money. Like I said, just to start up is like 30, and it's a lot of it's deposits. It's chassis
what is-
deposits. So like FlexiVan, they require deposit. Like it's a 2-year deposit for like $7,000.
2 years?
Yeah, they keep your money. They used to do it when I first started back in 2016. The first company, it was $5,000 for 1 year. And as long as you're making your payments on time and you don't have any outstanding,
They'll
they
pay
send
back.
you your deposit back.
We barely got
Yeah,
one
they take
back.
it from there. They take it from
We
there.
barely
Yeah.
got one back for 1,000. for
Okay, so
someone.
let's go back a little bit.
Yeah.
You decide you're gonna do this. You're gonna go all in.
Yep.
You pick a name, obviously.
Yep.
You register it, LLC or
Yep.
incorporated. Your EIN, right?
Yep.
What else? Maybe some
SCAT code.
company check. Some
Your SCAT code.
the SCAT
Yeah,
code.
company checks. Yeah,
SCAT code's like what, $85?
Yeah.
$80. Yeah, that's the easy part.
Yeah.
Anybody could sign up for a SCAT code. You could
Yeah.
have one. You cannot have UIA.
That's
You
the
cannot-
misconception. They think you have a SCAT code, so now you can go in.
Yeah, no,
but the
SCAT
SCAT
code
code
is-
is kind of like the
it's-
access code to
Right.
get in, right?
It
It
identifies you.
Yeah.
It identifies your single company to your
But
SCAT code to your company.
But you won't be able to take out the chassis.
That means nothing. That just gives you a code.
Yeah,
But that
yeah.
code is worthless because you don't have anything behind it. And the stuff behind it, like I said, is the chassis
yeah.
deposits. It's the Steamship Lines. It's UIA.
Yeah, that's the part that gets confusing. So we're already at the point you get the SCAT code,
The
you
UIA.
pay your port fees, you get an RFID tag.
Again, that's the easy part. Anybody could go get an RFID tag.
But
Anybody could pay.
I'm trying to go through it like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. So it's PDTR. That's the port fees.
Yeah.
That's the $200. Again, anybody can do that. It's CARB. That's free. You register your thing with CARB. Chassis deposits. Evergreen, I think. Oh, you know what? Another big thing is the actual the Port of LA and Port of Long Beach fees.
Oh,
So
the concessions.
The concessionaire. Yeah, the concession agreement.
2,500, no?
Did it change? I heard it got a little cheaper now.
No, it's not cheaper.
No?
I think it was $3,000.
I thought it was 25, but yeah, something. It might be
25 or
it might be
3,000.
higher.
And then
See,
Long
like-
Beach is actually cheap. Long Beach is like $500 or $1,000. Actually, I think Long Beach now is $1,000. When
Okay.
before I think it was 500.
Okay.
But that's something you don't get back. That they keep that.
What's the term right now when you pay that? How long is that for? Like 3
I
years or
think-
5?
No, I think
we
it's
paid it again. It was
5
1
years.
year.
Did we pay it again? You know what? We when I met Ricky and I did all the concessions and we paid it. Literally, the ending was like the end of 2019. So then they came out, they extended it 1 year, and then they emailed us, "Hey,
You have
your
to
new
pay it."
concession is due. You owe us $3,000
Again?
Yeah,
Yeah,
So
'cause
I
they
told them, I was
moved
like,
it.
"Hey, we
Yeah.
just paid."
They
Like,
don't care.
No, well, luckily they emailed back and said, "Okay, we'll give you an extension of like 5 years or whatever it was."
Oh, okay.
So they, if,
But you gotta
if
hit them up
right.
individually.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's like
No, they just want their money.
it's
but
like
if
fighting for the marriage or per diem.
yeah, don't even start with
You
the
gotta-
merge and per diem, man.
The email.
I don't know
battles.
how you prove a negative. I don't know how you prove that something didn't happen. You know what I mean? Like you weren't accepting the empty. Oh, prove it. How do you want me to prove it? You
The
weren't
email
accepting.
where you told me you weren't accepting.
Yeah, yeah.
No, the only thing they say is just keep looking at the website, refresh, just to see if you get accepted.
Yeah. So
Yeah, keep checking my bank account. See if magically I get my money back that you fucking robbed me of.
yeah, pretty much. So again, there's three chassis companies that require deposits. Everybody knows DCLI, Track, and Flexi.
You hit them up individually, or is there
Yeah.
some
No, it's
website
in-
where they're all there? Or?
No, it's individual. And you know what sucks is everything is individual.
That's the part that sounds like a mission.
Yes.
And
And
then
that's what takes the longest. I think it took us like a month. It's always okay. You're at the third step, but now something happened with the first step because you waited so long. Now it's expired or something else has happened. So now you got to go back to the first and then jump back to the
everything
fourth.
has to be active the whole time that
Yeah.
you're going through.
So sometimes it's hard to do stuff by yourself. Like so I just hire a professional like for the basic stuff like to get your MC, to get your authority, all that stuff. Just hire a professional. Just get it done. Do your LLC. Just hire somebody that knows how to do it. Once that's set up, then you can go call the individual companies and say, how do I, get set up? Track, Flexi, DCLI. And then luckily all the steamship lines for the containers are under UIA. So normally you just have to go to them.
Yeah, you click all the equipment providers you're going to
Which
fuck
one you
with,
want.
right?
Exactly, yeah. And then, okay, from there, then sometimes they each require something different. So now you have to go and check
Insurance-wise, what they need.
insurance-wise if you have to sign some addendum and have it
Yeah,
notarized.
someone like you to have like the Swift boxes, the intermodal
Okay,
boxes.
yeah.
They want you to have workers' comp and shit like
Yeah,
that.
so
yeah.
so
and
the
they'll-
UP,
that's
yes.
that's what UIA is probably kind of like validates everything for
Yes,
them, and they
yes.
all just go in one.
Yep, exactly. Yep. So Swift and UP does that too. Union Pacific boxes. You can go to a UP facility and just get drayage boxes, port boxes, but you can't in-gate or out-gate their equipment, 53s, if you don't have that workers' comp, like you had mentioned.
Okay, so but the regular,
As long as
40s
you're just doing drayage, you have access to the facility.
with your license, pretty much.
Yeah.
those are the 20s, 40s, 45s, but anything
Anything 53s that UP owned, no. Yeah.
that's when you get those trouble tickets and all that.
And then it took us 3 months, pretty much. We started in July, so we couldn't even run until
Yeah, Ricky and I,
October.
we were talking in July. We didn't start pulling loads
We couldn't
like
pretty much until
October, and then you know what sucks also is everybody works off EDI, some electronic, unicorn. I forget what it stands for.
Who's everybody? What do you mean everybody?
E-modal, all the ports, UIA. So you like you said, everything's under UIA. So you just go to them. UIA sends out updates, EDI, electronically. All the ports don't get that. For what the system's so old and outdated, they just don't update. So now you got to call the terminal. Hey, why isn't it updated? I don't know. You got to call UIA or you got to call the steamship line. Then you call the steamship line. Like hopefully somebody answers. Hey, can you approve our SCAT code at this terminal?
Oh, we had that at WBCT, huh? In the beginning, we
Yeah.
couldn't get it.
So it's not automatic. You have to whatever's going wrong.
Emails
you gotta
and
call,
calls.
And you don't know it till the driver gets there.
Yeah.
And then the driver gets there, and then now we look dumb.
Stupid,
Like
you
we
haven't
didn't do
even-
something correct. You know what I mean? And that's the worst.
I
The worst
forgot
when the
about
driver
that.
gets stuck.
I forgot
Yeah.
about that. You couldn't get out or even in. Is,
What's that code? Like company not authorized or something?
Yeah,
like
it's
that?
just
Yeah,
for
company not
to
authorized.
the steamship line or the chassis. It just depends what it was.
Damn, imagine now you had a cut off and now you got to turn around.
Yes.
And now you're screwed.
Yeah.
And still put the driver.
Some stuff is
and
not, you can't fix it right then and there. Some
No.
stuff,
No.
yeah.
No, especially on night shift. Nobody's open at night. No, other than terminals, there's no steamship line open at night. You can't call UIA. And then with all the appointment systems, if you don't get it, and for whatever reason you were locked out of that steamship line, and you can't fix it till the next day, but the appointment's not till 4 days later, now what?
Yeah, you can.
We can't tell the customer, hey,
We're not ready.
yeah, the SCAC was fucked up or
Yeah.
something, So
You missed your voyage, sir.
yeah,
And now they don't want to pay storage fees.
right.
Or none
Now
of that
we got to
'cause
pay
you're
that out of
fucked
pocket.
up.
But again, that's startup. That's startup for anybody starting. Wanting to go to the ports under their own SCAC. That's where you're going to face startup. You have to account for that in your projection.
What if you say, screw all the chassis companies, we have our own chassis? You don't pay for that, right? Like you don't
No,
have to pay.
that
now
if you
you're
have
gonna
money,
have to say
if
own.
you have money to buy chassis.
Right now they're what 20,000 for 1999 a 40.
Last year we bought 5 40-foot chassis used, like 2000s and 2001s
From Georgia.
from back east. They were, how much did we pay?
55, 6,000.
Like $6,000 per chassis. We bought 5.
Mm-hmm.
A year later, those same chassis, 2001s, are going for like 20, 25.
Yeah.
So in our head, we had the opportunity to buy 20. We just bought 5 because we were just getting our feet wet in the chassis.
Now you're like, damn.
Yeah, we fucked up. Yeah.
Well, we just got 10 more 20-foot chassis.
Yeah, so we started buying 20 because they were cheap. But
Wow.
yeah, what we need are 40s.
Which,
Well, it's an asset to have. Maybe you could barter with someone that has a lot of 40s and then switch
Yeah, but
for a while. I don't
with
know.
all the work going around, nobody has chassis. Yeah, I wish we could do that.
So that's the ultimate goal. Imagine, like, screw the chassis companies. We got our own.
Yeah.
So you avoid that headache as well as registering with all of them, right?
Yeah.
Well, actually,
yeah.
we tried leasing also from Milestone back then, and they weren't even.
They weren't even taking applications to lease. Milestone, Ames.
Ames one day he told us, "Oh, we could get you some in a year and a half."
Yeah.
But give 50%.
Yeah, they wanted us to give a deposit, and I was like, I'm not going to tie my money up into something that I won't get for a year.
Yeah, that's true. That's a risky one. So that's about it as far as structure. UIA, the chassis company.
Well, you're talking about just to get in.
Yeah, to get going.
Yeah, just to
Yeah.
get going. Aside
Yeah.
from that, the dispatchers, accounting. I mean, that's to be honest. I think
Making sure all your
accounting-
back office is in order, that knowing how to make appointments, and then it's having all the contacts for all the steamship lines, because UIA doesn't always, they have some generic contact information.
Okay.
It's knowing equipment control number. It's knowing who deals with
When we started,
the
that's the only
UIA
thing I
for
would-
that steamship
I would
line.
call them all the time,
Yeah.
like text them, "Hey, what's the number for this? Because I didn't know shit. I mean, I'm from truck driver to being a dispatcher.
Yeah.
To be honest, I didn't know nothing. So.
Ricky was our point man for the trucking, for everything on the road. I only drove for a year. I didn't know as much information as Ricky knew at that point, or on that subject.
Yeah.
But I knew the back office stuff, and that's another reason why everything clicked, is because our both, it was like yin and yang. Our two assets come together perfectly.
And here you are.
Yeah.
That's
At the
cool, man.
Containeroz. It's funny because when we started, he would tell me, because I don't have Instagram or nothing.
Yeah.
He would tell me about Containeroz. And
Yeah,
I was like,
yeah.
And because he saw me that I was at the port. And I was like, I don't know. What do you mean? People doing containers? And they were like, no, Containeroz, the guy. And I was like, I don't know who you were. Because I didn't have Instagram. I didn't have Instagram.
It's a guy. It's a brand.
Yeah,
I
it's
thought it was a
whatever
company.
brand, yeah.
I thought it was a company. He would tell me until one day he goes, "Hey, Containeros posted this," and I was like, "Whoa." I was confused until he got Instagram.
Dude, this
for
whole
the
time I thought
company.
I've been talking to you, man.
Yeah, I've been DMing Lewis.
No, so everybody can know. Anybody from Instagram. That
Anybody
has
that gets the message now he's gonna start messaging people and say it's me.
that'd be a good idea.
Y'all been catfished, y'all.
Yeah.
I'm DMing as a company, not as a person. I've told Ricky, every time I say Ricky and I'm like, Ricky's gonna do this, it's Ricky is not the person. Ricky's the company. If I'm specifically talking about Ricky, it's the person. It's Ricardo. If now we've gotten to a point where if I say Ricky's is gonna do this, Ricky's like, I'm not gonna do that. I'm like, no, I'm talking about the company. Ricky's
Yeah,
is
so
gonna
it's
do
Ricky
this.
and Ricky's.
Yeah. So Ricky has now no longer sole owner or have any control over Ricky's transport. Now it's Ricardo and Ricky.
My government name.
Yeah.
My slave name.
So
Got it. Ricky is not Ricky, but
Ricky-
Ricardo.
Ricky is not Ricky anymore. If you get a DM, you're getting a DM from a company.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Cool. So that's that.
Yeah.
Chassis, back office, the team, the yard, But that's the main step. Get all those things in order.
Which,
and
to be
then
honest,
once you're in there,
we screwed up. We grew too fast. We're at 16. We're at 16 full employees, drivers wise, close to almost 18. Some part-time owner operators. But we messed up because actually both of us just started this by ourselves.
Yeah, we were doing it out of our houses.
We didn't have nobody, and then up to now we're short-handed on the office. So if anybody looking for a job, hit us up, office-wise.
call Ricky.
Yeah.
Call Ricky's.
Ricky's.
Yeah. If you want to call this person, call Ricardo.
Call Ricardo.
Yeah.
But no, that's one of the main things we messed up. We didn't think we were gonna grow so fast.
Yeah.
And for some reason we got crazy and
we were way out of balance.
We bought 9 trucks for some reason in 1 year. Luckily we got drivers to cover them.
Yeah.
And customer wise, they like us, so we're pretty good.
We're pretty stable
but
customer wise.
Office wise, we work 24/7. That's the bad part.
The cost of UIA, back to what you were saying, it doesn't make sense for 1 truck. It probably won't make sense for 2 trucks. You have to have a vision to grow, because it's so expensive. Insurance is expensive.
But it's worth it to start if you know your plan is to grow. But because all you need is 1 truck to get it all going.
Yes.
Right?
Yep.
For UIA to approve it, you need at least obviously 1 truck running.
Yep.
For sure.
Okay.
So
to have insurance, you need 1 truck. To have obviously your MC active and the CHP to be able to do their bit inspection and everything. You have to have 1 truck at least. But everybody starts somewhere. And again, having 1 truck, you can't go in saying I'm just gonna have 1 truck, have 1 customer, and do it, because you probably not gonna you might as well just stay at least on to someone.
But it's a good way to get your wet feet to start off, because there is some brokers that require you to have a SCAT code and stuff like that, and you could get work from them as an individual, and you could start learning how to make appointments and stuff like that.
You can get your little account, start going. Yeah, because that's how you get access to that good pay. It comes with a lot of headaches and responsibilities, but I heard recently to Commerce $3,000, man, during this surge.
Oh, well,
but it's because of what's going on. But I'm just saying, like, you're not gonna get that being leased on.
No, you're not gonna get that leased on. You're not gonna get that year round. So
it just depends. If you have the place to store it, if you have the contacts, I think
you deliver that load for $3,000, and now you're stuck with the empty, because nobody's taking the empty. And now who's going to pay for storage?
All in.
Yeah. Yes. Now you're stuck with the chassis charge,
3 months.
per diem.
3 months containers sitting in our yard.
Yeah, we had containers for 3 months.
Okay, that answers one of my questions. What's the worst? What's the most you lost as a company?
Oh my god, dude! Every day I'm yelling at Ricky, man. Ricky's very
Ricardo.
No, I'm sorry, Ricardo. Ricardo's very nonchalant a lot of times, which again is another part of why we work is. I'm very...
Since he has to do the accounting and do the numbers.
I see where we're losing. And I'm yelling at Ricky, why do we have a box in our yard for 3 months? How does that make sense?
Which one is a lot? Yeah. No, but it's normal right now, especially when they're not accepting empties.
Yeah.
So this past month that they haven't accepted empties, we've had, per diem wise, how much was the biggest per diem we had? 80?
No,
that's what I wanted to get to. How much money, man? Come on.
Well, okay, that's the thing. It's we have to pay it and then try to build back.
We front it. A lot of times, again, our largest customer luckily just pays it because they know the issue. We've communicated to them what the issue is.
That's established from the beginning, right? It's easier to agree on that from the beginning, or it depends on your relationship that they'll adapt to the circumstances. Let's say you never knew COVID would happen and you had this customer prior to COVID kicking in. Like, there's some stuff that is like, this is new.
Something that, that's something
going to work with me on this or not?
Right. No.
Luckily, a lot of them understood.
It's hard to work with somebody on a $300,000 bill.
Exactly. Once it happens, it's like, according to our contract.
Right. But again, luckily, we have record of why those containers sat out so long.
Emails.
Not Steamship Line wise, but they sat in our yard for 3 weeks loaded. Then they sat at your DC for 2 months loaded, loaded. Then you emptied it. Then we returned it within 2 weeks. You know what I mean? Because of restrictions. For a customer, it's hard to fight that. But for us, they're going to say, well, why'd you take 2 weeks to return it? Well, because you had containers that were a month older than the one that one was. You know what I mean? So there's some smaller customers that will push back and try to force us to pay it. So it's a give and take. But the largest bill was probably $300,000. I'm not going to say Steamship Line. It was probably $300,000.
Well, like out of your pocket like that?
No, not
Like
we
really.
paid it
Yeah, yeah.
and billed it back. Or you know what I do?
At any point, was it at risk of not getting paid? And if
No.
it didn't pay, what
No,
would
because it was a
happen?
If
customer
it
that
didn't
we
get
know.
paid, we had a lot of product to hold.
Yeah.
That we could black market.
Black. Not the right words.
What I've been doing is I'll bill it back and then I'll argue with the Steamship Line. So I'm getting paid while I'm still trying to argue. Hey, you didn't want the container, so can you reduce these fees or wipe them out or do whatever? A lot of times they say no, you owe it. So I've already been paid, so I just pay it. Or what I'll do is they'll say no, and then that'll be the end of it. I'll get paid, and then a month later I'll get, hey, you're gonna get shut out if you don't pay this. But I've been paid already a month ago, so I've been able to use that money in other ways. Now I get the shutout notice. Now I'll pay it because I've already made that money.
What
back.
happens if there's a time when your morals or something can be tested, where, or would that be that type of situation where?
Let me give you a moral
No,
test.
I'm about to finish.
No, I think I know where you're going.
Yeah. Okay. Go.
Okay. Wait. Are you gonna say I get paid and then they wipe the bill?
Damn it! What are my lucky numbers?
No, because you know why? We gave that money back.
Yeah.
How much was it? 100K.
130.
We
But
called.
you didn't have to. Or
We didn't
did
have
you?
to.
Did you? Or you
But
didn't?
No, we did.
No, we did, but because the same thing as our customer, they give us work, and if they find out, what are we gonna say? How are you gonna explain that, knowing that you have that much money?
Morally, it was the right thing to do. We didn't have to give it back. They would have probably never known. But
So there's fine print for stuff like that where you can. There's certain things that can happen that it's up to the other party how they're gonna handle it. Like, can they do the same to you in a way with something? Like could they ever be in a situation where they could screw you and then they have a change of heart and they don't?
Well,
not
look,
a lot of customers.
Does it go both ways? Like,
Okay, so one thing situation. We
he gave
had
you the approval with the eyes.
no specifics.
well,
No names.
No. We had a situation where we took a loaded container
Oh yeah.
back to
shit.
China. The driver took it by mistake, and
Thought it was empty.
yeah. So it was 40K to.
So the process was it got returned empty. Terminal thought it was empty, but on the ticket it showed like 60,000 pounds.
The weight,
right?
yeah.
Got loaded on a ship empty, sent back to Asia, got unloaded, and then the customs, whatever they found it was loaded. Then they report it, and then it gets back to the customer, and then
So that was a big peddle right there, because
Yeah.
they told us we're gonna pay all the fees to come bring it back, and this is the time it was 3 times higher to bring a container loaded.
shipping wise,
Got higher.
it was $40,000 for all the customs fees, and the shipping of the container back was about 40 grand. That happened twice
In 2
about
weeks.
in 2 weeks.
Yeah, and the customer wanted us to pay for everything.
Yeah.
So luckily, the same, since we have a good relationship with them, they didn't bring it up after.
Yeah.
Could you wash your hands as far as blaming the terminal, whoever the clerk was?
They did.
How do you
They-
engage something and it
You-
shows
you
the
know-
weight and
you
you
know in
still put it
Yangming-
in as an empty?
You know, in Yangming, they have automated when you get there, the empty comes out. So pretty much, they don't look at it the weight. It just printed out the ticket.
It printed
and they just-
automatically.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
But
See, stuff like that, if it keeps happening, that's why there's modifications. Then now maybe
Yeah.
every lane will have a scale.
Well,
know,
so
just to
it
be
starts
safe.
at the point of the DC. Did the driver check it? Obviously, no. Did the security
Chucho.
guard? Yeah, no. That's
brought that one
that's
last
not even
week.
Chucho,
I know
man.
that one's
That's-
mine.
Yeah, shit.
know?
It's the security guard that signed it empty, that let it release. It's the terminal that accepted it, and then to put it on a ship, and then the driver didn't notice that it was full when he was driving it.
The top
A whole
handler,
lot of people were not on
Yeah.
it that day.
top
man.
handler
Yeah.
not noticing he needs more to lift up the
yeah,
container,
that a top
which
handler can lift that.
usually they lift it up right away, depending
Yeah.
how it is.
So who are we gonna blame, man?
So
It's
that's
like, is it
that's
you?
what
Is it you?
that's what
You?
our argument was. Yeah, we will pay some, but we're not paying 40, 80 grand for both
Yeah.
of these. That we would have, I would have been crying.
But luckily,
Yeah.
like I said, we have a good relationship. The same reason why
Yeah.
we told them about that,
Yeah.
and we still have a great relationship with them.
Yeah.
See, a lot of stuff can happen.
It-
Man,
it's karma.
But see, when you're in there, like the mistakes are expensive, man.
Yeah.
You think
things add up.
shit like that can put you out of business?
Oh
Like,
yeah,
Easily.
definitely.
Easily.
Per diem by itself can put you out of business.
If you don't use the money right,
Yeah.
for sure, per diem can
Yeah.
screw you.
And if you're not, like you said,
Chassis bills.
if you don't have that set up with the customer beforehand, or even as it's happening, obviously COVID's different because everybody has been affected. So luckily the customer's understanding of that and all the restrictions. Per diem can put companies out of business fast. Like I said, one bill for one steamship line was 300 grand, and that's accumulating. As
Do you
you
know
get that bill.
how many containers were in that?
Invoices was probably maybe 50 containers. Yeah.
Not only that,
Within the
chassis
time period
And you know what's funny?
how long?
These steamship lines, they don't want the empties. They don't want them in the terminals. So why are they charging us? Because now we have to carry the cost of storing them for you, and you're going to charge us for not returning it? You know what I mean?
Well, I may be wrong, but the thing is that they're just saving money and at your expense because the steamship line is the customer of the terminal.
Mm-hmm.
So the terminal will
want
bill
it,
them
yeah.
storage.
Yeah, for the
That's
empty
what I
sitting
heard.
at the store at the yard.
So there's that little area where it hasn't been really clarified.
Yeah.
In my opinion, I think that you do your part, you take it out, go deliver, and it's time to give you back your equipment. If you don't have room for it, it's not my problem.
Yeah, it's your pedal.
I should be entitled to bill you for that
Yeah.
storage.
Not only do you not want it, you're gonna bill me for having it.
You get billed for storing it for them.
Yeah,
Isn't
man,
that?
it's fucking crazy.
Well,
It-
we know
that's-
it's crazy. Why don't the companies team up and say
That's mafia. That's what they do.
mafia.
Yeah, that's mafia shit.
well, mafia back? Shit,
Yeah.
Mafia.
you got enough
It-
companies out
it's
here
hard.
that if they
You-
team up, you could probably do it.
You know how hard it is. We've tried a couple months ago with DTA. It's hard to unite companies here in Long Beach.
They have a lot. There's a lot to lose, to be honest. It's way too much to lose.
Everybody is out for themselves, and they will give up a certain portion. But for everybody to get all in is hard. For
Yeah, even
everyone
if
to
they're
fight
not
back.
out for themselves, it still needs more than one person.
Yeah.
Or, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's just hard. It's like a never-ending thing, man.
It's
It's
a
like
never-ending
if there's
cycle.
some kind of fucking curse out here. Like
Yeah.
it'll never change no
Yeah.
matter what. You know, like the
What-
only one that did like a big change like that in his genre or whatever, it was Harry Bridges. Like.
Yeah.
Like,
No, well, he
that's
did
the
it
big,
at a
like,
great time, and
you
now
know?
they have a stranglehold on everything.
Even him,
Yeah.
he got offered 100,000 back in that time to just leave.
Oh, really?
Leave the country. He
Wow.
went back to his people and like, hey, they're offering me this. Should I take it? I mean, or should I give it to you guys?
Yeah, yeah.
That's
Oh,
what
shit.
that's
No,
what I mean. Should I
yeah.
give it to you guys and I'll disappear? Would you guys benefit from it?
Yeah, yeah.
They're like,
No, I
no,
never heard that.
we've already gone this long. Let's
Yeah.
write it out. And they got, you know what I mean? But
Yeah.
it took.
I don't want to say it was
took
easier
balls.
because it takes balls, but it's not as big as it is now. Now imagine how hard it was back then for a few people. Now you have, hundreds of thousands.
Guess who was the big player back then and still is? Steamship Lines.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's not gonna change. Even with the little mom and pop steamship lines, the new ones that are coming out, that's
Yeah.
even harder.
All these little culos and
Transfers.
Kudos?
transfers, transfers.
But I agree with that. That's not fair. And that
Yeah.
sounds like bitching, right? It's not fair.
No, it's-
but it's
it's
like
normal.
pointing it out. Like,
It's
Yeah.
normal. To be honest, right now it's normal, especially with the steamship lines.
And you know what? It's on the customer to go back. They book these loads with these steamship lines. They have contracts with these. It's up to them. It should be
Them bitching for
their
the money.
issue to go to the steamship line and say, hey, this is not you either don't bill me for this or don't charge my carrier, or I'm gonna go to another steamship line and I'm gonna take my I forget how many units they move a year. I'm gonna take my units elsewhere.
Depending on the customer. Yeah.
that reminds me, that should be a good topic to bring up at the first annual SoCal Supply Chain Meetup.
SoCal Supply Chain Meetup.
It's February 26th,
February 26th at what time?
4:30
4:30 p.m.
to 6:30.
in Long Beach.
Yes.
Yes.
Pacific?
Pacific time?
Yes.
Oh.
Because I know you have some East Coast.
Yeah, I gotta
followers.
put it up
Yeah.
again. But that would be a good topic to bring up
Yeah.
because the topic, mainly we'll be talking about like how did we get here, like this
Yeah.
mess that we're
Yeah.
in, and how can we work together? Because without blaming someone, it seems everyone just points the finger. It's not me, it's
Yeah.
them, it's
Yeah.
them, it's them. So if it's no one's fault, then nothing's gonna get fixed
Right.
because no one's.
You know what it is?
responsibility.
It's not it's no one's fault 100%, but nobody wants to accept
Their
a
part.
portion or their part. Yeah.
okay.
I think that's if everybody just accepted a part or a portion of the fault. we
Not only
could move
that,
forward,
the
but
customers cannot bitch to the steamship lines, so they're gonna bitch at us. They're not gonna.
Yeah.
They don't have a contact with them. They're gonna be like, "What the hell are you?" They're not gonna. They don't really care. So they have to tell us. That's the only way out.
And that's
the
why
truckers,
like the truckers have to tell the longshoremen.
Pretty
Yeah.
much.
That's what they see.
yeah,
They don't tell the terminal, why didn't you order more tops,
Yeah.
more
Mhm.
this.
or you're mad because you didn't get, because your brother. I'm not gonna get into that. I don't want to be targeted.
Oh yeah, look for that logo, guys.
Yeah.
What was childhood like for you guys? Anybody want to share?
Basic, just I grew up in LA, moved to IE. Same thing. Went to college and decided for some reason I ended up being a truck driver.
What were you going to college for?
Business, which I never thought I was gonna use it because my whole time my parents like I ended up being a truck driver and I liked it. I like driving, so to be honest, I miss it. But
When I have a trucking business.
yeah, but I just like the trucking industry. But
He misses it, but when I tell him, hey, go do this load real quick because someone called off. Fuck that.
Yeah. No, but you get me right. The driving part, it's everybody likes just driving with no traffic, obviously.
Yeah, of course.
But I don't know why I went to school for that, but now we're here, I guess. Obviously, I don't think anybody grows up thinking like I'm gonna be driving or truck driving forever, but
yeah,
it happens. We're here where we're at.
What about you?
I grew up in Pomona. I was born in Upland Hospital.
He was born in a hospital, guys.
Yeah. No, I had basic childhood. There was 5 of us. I had 2 brothers, 2 sisters.
Tell them about the butler. You had a butler.
Ricky clowns me because I'm a coconut. So I'm Hispanic. My mom's Mexican and my dad's white.
Okay.
So Ricky always thinks I'm from this middle higher class. Yeah.
His last name is Robinson. What do you expect? You know?
Yeah.
Sir, please share.
Yeah. So, but no, it was nothing like that. It was Pomona. Have you been to Pomona? Do you know Pomona? It's.
Oh yes, Pomona.
Yeah. No, it wasn't Pomona Hills.
Pomona
It was Pomona. It was little LA. Not normal.
But just
childhood.
clarify, you did not have a butler.
I did not have a butler.
Okay.
No. Ricky's lying. Ricky likes to put a lot of hot sauce on stuff.
He's the fancy one rolling up in Starbucks.
Yeah, in his Tesla and.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a lease.
But you're driving it. That's all that matters.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
So, any hardships growing up? Do you remember that? Kind of, a lot of these people that are successful in life eventually, you know what I mean? They've all been through some hardships that kind of propelled them or pushed them to want to get out of that.
I think the basics. My dad for sure. Get your shit up. Get your shit straight.
Yeah.
You know the basics. I mean, for me, it's just work. I've been working. I started at 15 at Taco Bell. Just working since high school. And just putting a lot of hours. Obviously, money-wise, it takes you a while until you start understanding how to use money. Up to now, until I met Thomas, to be honest, that's when I started thinking, like, fuck, why? Because, as owner-operators, to be honest, you make good money. But for some reason, you still need to be getting that same check a week.
Yeah.
And then for some reason, you're still broke by the end of the year.
Yeah.
It's crazy because then you start doing your taxes, you're like, where the fuck did this money go? And you start looking at your expenses and you're like, damn. But then again, you had a good year because you enjoyed it.
Yeah.
But since I met Thomas, I've been living less than what owner-operators make, but still living more comfortably, to be honest. It's just looking more at the money-wise. But aside from that, just working a lot, to be honest. Weekends. I see that you used to work on, when he told me, I saw that you used to work Saturdays and Sundays, which is rare because a lot of owner-operators don't like working weekends, especially Sundays.
And you have kids, and that's what also makes it harder working on the weekends.
Yeah,
when you
so
have
that's
kids.
pretty, to be honest,
Yeah.
nowadays to see people working on Sundays, that's when you wanna hustle. But a lot of
Even
people
here, I
nowadays-
work Sundays. Tomorrow. I have
Yeah, but you have Monday through Thursday
tomorrow's
off.
Friday. I'm doing some other stuff.
I know you're working tomorrow because I think you have a driver training.
Tomorrow, actually, with Port Pro, we have a meeting with Port Pro tomorrow with their drivers.
Mike told us it was you.
Which that's something we didn't mention. Also, we've been meeting up with them and we're starting to like it. Easier to dispatch.
Yeah, we've been on Excel.
You come.
Five people on an Excel spreadsheet. A lot of data gets lost. We actually had
Were you hesitant at first? I mean, I didn't bring you guys on, but were you hesitant at first? Like, or what made you want to upgrade and use Port
For
Pro?
the same reason everybody kept telling us, how are you still using Excel for dispatching?
all the data lost and all the demurrage.
Demurrage
because
just
we
on
were losing
Excel.
containers because they would get deleted, not on purpose, but just data gets lost because so many people were on the Excel spreadsheet at the same time.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Also, it's like a shared,
It's a shared Excel.
I would say easily just last year probably 30-40K on demurrage.
on demurrage
that
because
we
we
had to
fucked up.
pay most of it from our pocket because we messed up because we got it deleted, and it's not like we're gonna tell a customer, well, we deleted it from our spreadsheet.
But you didn't remind us about it, so you pay it. You know what I mean? So you can't go that way.
Yeah.
So we have to pay it. So that's why we went with, and I don't know why they had just started about a year ago, I think, right? It just started coming up on Instagram, and something, you know, that was affordable, that was specifically designed for port, you know. So it's really been working out. I think we're doing our full transition, I think, next week. We've already transitioned this week.
Oh, you went in phases, like
a little by little.
It's hard to just go cold turkey.
And aside from that, we're moving offices, so we're kind of not.
So it's hard to concentrate just on Port Pro.
Yeah,
and dispatching and trying to move.
Yeah,
but yeah, it's pretty good. We like it. It's
how is it with before that? Would you do the traditional dispatch where you text everyone and all that?
Text. Just group chats. Just in a group chat.
Yeah, just group text because everything's on record. So now we can always search on the iPhones. We can search a message, you know, and we can always go back to it. You know, search a container or a chassis number or whatever happened. Yeah.
And you still mess up even on group chats. Sometimes you put, the drivers sometimes even read it wrong. You put ITS and they go to TTI for some reason. Yeah. You tell them APM
and it's APL. Yeah.
Let's see. You've had it happen. I've had it happen to me before.
Never.
You read the message wrong and you go to the wrong port and then you tell the speaker lady and shit like, yeah, you fucking stupid.
Nah, what would happen? I wake up in another city and all like, what?
How do you get there?
I'm alive. Then everything kicks in. Oh shit! I had to be here. I had to be there.
Yeah. Like, what's one of yours worst experience in the port with the clerk?
Let me see. I have a few, but the one that was like I'm most ashamed of now that I'm cooled off was, long story short, at 8 p.m. the top handler in the trans.
Oh, okay.
Sometimes from up there, they see you go in the line, and if they assume you cut, then they make a mental note that you cut. So they kept skipping me every time. They flip people in front of me. It would finally get to me. Keep going. Then it'll go up. Keep going.
Yeah, so but why is it his job to keep track of? He thinks you cut. You know, if you're in your spot, just fucking load the truck. Why is it your issue to play God? But again, I hate to go and
that's the power they have.
Yeah.
I think he didn't like that I came a little close for the sake of getting in.
Yeah.
But because I have experience, so I felt like I know you're going forward and I can squeeze in real quick.
And my can's right
as
there.
you go.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be in the way of you hitting me. You're going away.
Yeah.
So I'll take that time to squeeze in.
Mm-hmm. Oh, were you those ones that creep up because you know he's going to go forward, but maybe he wanted to go back just to kind of prove you a point?
I don't know, but I can't read his mind and he can't read mine.
Yeah.
So that's where we go wrong.
Yeah.
But obviously I assumed he was doing it on purpose, and it's kind of hard to believe otherwise based on all the time. So
well, your can's on top on the first row. What else can you assume? I'm not saying that situation but
I know for a fact I was getting skipped, and then so I just got out of the truck and I laid down in front of the machine. Like I laid down. Like,
fuck.
You know, like I'm getting my shit now.
Yeah.
And then he's like, he didn't say it, but he's like, all right, you know, turn that shit off. Everyone's even angrier. He left way early to lunch.
Fuck.
So now everyone's mad at me.
More than the 20 minutes or 30 minutes they leave?
He left before the time they have to leave and turned it off, got off and left and act like he didn't even see me. And it made me even more mad. I'm like, damn. But his shift was done. And then when he came back, the dock signal came back, but a new operator.
Oh, okay.
Right? So the dock signal's like, no can is worth your life. And by then I was already cooled off. I was like, yeah, that was stupid.
Yeah,
But then I got my can and I left, you know? Yeah. That was like $150 pre-pull or something.
For 6 hours.
That I was gonna...
Yeah.
I mean, my intention is not to die, but it's just kind of like an asshole move.
Point.
It was just, you know?
Trying to get attention to, like, what the hell?
Yeah. So that's one of my stories. And another one is I shit my pants, but that's
that happened.
I think
that
happened too.
Not to me, but no. I've only driven for a year, so I didn't have enough time in the truck. I was close, but never happened.
When did you shit your pants, Ricky?
Luckily, no.
Oh.
Luckily, I'm more of a pisser than a shit. I got caught in between the containers a lot where I almost got kicked out.
Oh, yeah?
From going in between the containers, you know. Like, what were you doing? Oh, I was looking for my can. You know you still can't be there. You're not going to tell them I was taking a piss.
Like, I was taking a piss. Look.
Yeah. There's still some gotitas right there, you know.
Damn. What about you? You have crazy stories?
These.
I have one from APL.
they don't make it easy for new drivers. When I started in the ports, I was fresh. I didn't know. You get yelled at a lot by people that are angry for no reason.
Well, that's one of the things that happened to me at APL. I was gonna say that
it's very intimidating. Luckily, I'm fairly patient, and again, I was new. I wasn't. Yeah.
You're like, maybe I did fuck up.
No, I knew I didn't. But what was the point of arguing with them? They're on a power trip, and that it's not gonna make the situation better if I start arguing.
Knowing they could get kicked out.
Yeah, sure. Knowing they have all the power. I literally took it and moved on. Yeah.
For my experience for APL, I'm pretty sure everybody knows her, the crazy old lady, security guard lady by H1. I don't know if you've seen her. I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah. So so the ones there's a line to go to H1, and it starts dividing you by 3, right?
Yeah.
H1. So I get to the middle. I'm there for like 40 minutes. The line hasn't moved. The clerk gets there to get your ticket. I get down, I give her a ticket, and I see her just running. Like, kick this guy out. He just cut. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, what the fuck? I've been here for 40 minutes. And then she just goes, no, he cut. Kick him out. So they call the manager, and she's starting a big thing. Another truck driver comes. He crosses over. He gives her a ticket, and then she says something to him to go away in your truck. And then he calls her, shut the fuck up, bitch. So she hears that. She just, when the manager gets there, she just called me a bitch. Oh. So they kicked that guy out, and I was free. But I was so
so something superseded what you.
Yeah. I was fucking like how Thomas said, like I didn't know what to say. So I was just like,
that guy was probably tired of her shit.
I was frozen. So I was just like, fuck, am I really gonna get kicked out for not doing shit? And I was like, fuck, man. When you want to like cry, like fuck for no reason. Gosh. And luckily he got kicked out, and I waited still in H1. But
one thing I learned fairly fast driving the ports is the rules change every day.
Yeah,
it's never the same at the same terminal. It's
and it's a different outcome depending on what guard you get.
Yes, that's so. For new drivers, be patient and just.
That's one of the things that clerks
follow what everyone else is doing.
Yeah, the clerks know that there's new people every day going to the port, and what gets them bad about the owner operators or any drivers. They, instead of knowing that they had their first time ever going to the port and they were confused, instead of helping out some guy that thinks they're cutting them off, because I would get lost and cut off people, but I didn't even know.
Right.
And instead of, hey man, where you going? They start honking and just fucking try to get as close to you to just, hey, get the fuck back in the line. When you're like, what the fuck, what line?
Yeah, right.
Or where am I going?
If it's your spot, like, why weren't you here?
Yeah,
that's the issue too.
So
it's drivers not helping drivers. When I was a new driver, I asked another driver where the chassis pit was, and he completely pointed me to the other side of the terminal. And it was like, what was the point of that? Like,
stop bugging him. He has places to be,
man.
Bro.
Yeah, it's not around you.
We're all going to the same line to wait fucking 6 hours. Why,
Nah, because then you're gonna get that chassis and you're gonna get in his way.
He had a chassis.
But you're gonna come and create congestion in his road, bro.
Especially your snow. Nah, but you know how it is. Every day is something different.
I know you had a story you wanted to say before you were interrupted by
Ricardo. Fucking Ricardo.
What's Rick?
I don't remember.
Speak your mind.
Moment of silence while he gathers his thoughts.
No, I can't remember. I had a lot of stories. Again, it's just being, it's being disrespected by other people, security guards, so port workers, whatever they are.
Even clerks at the pedestals, man, when they talk shit to you because you don't give them the right number, are you fucking stupid?
Like that? They told you that?
Nah, but they've told you, what the hell is wrong with you? Like, you don't know the process of how to check in?
Yeah.
When it was my first day.
No, bitch, it's my first day. What the fuck?
You're banned.
Yeah. Fuck.
What bothers me is when, have you ever been at the speaker, but the guy next to you doesn't
shut off his truck?
This is my town, not yours. All those guys are gonna be like mad right now, but like, cause you could tell that the person is English is their second language.
Yeah.
So, and you could tell there's one time this lady was giving this guy a hard time.
Yeah. Because you can understand them.
The way they use the prefixes.
Right.
You could tell when you hear the prefix, like macho or something that's right. You know what I mean? They're trying to come up with words as they go. Right. They don't have a standard.
Yeah.
And she'll just skip them. And then again,
You have to press the button again.
Or you know what? Just to give them a trouble ticket, just to get them out of the spot.
Yeah, because they don't understand you. They just send you to trouble.
And it's like, EM8 or whatever, a standard prefix MSMU,
No.
but you put some stupid letters because you know what the letters are just by kind of hearing it, and the letters that you put make no sense, and you just to get them out of there, you give them a trouble ticket.
Yeah, well,
there's a lot of
luckily
that.
when they got back on, I ran over there and I helped him.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean?
No, that was good.
I'm surprised.
No, but I was like,
security.
this is the same thing he's been saying. Like
Yeah.
before he got skipped by I
Right.
don't know who.
Right, yeah.
They happened to be her.
Yeah,
but,
yeah.
like, so I didn't know that accent made a difference in order for you.
Which
to,
I'm surprised they don't have, knowing there's a lot of different, people that don't know just English, like you said. I mean,
Yeah.
the speaker just ready for that one person who doesn't understand it. I
Well, some
mean,
people feel that you're in the U.S. you should speak English, and it kind of shows, how people treat other people.
Yeah.
But not a truck driver. You have to remember, truck drivers is really separate from just learning English.
Yeah.
Especially right now.
Mm-hmm.
No compassion.
Do you guys ever bump heads as partners?
Every day. Every day.
What's some tips to working with a partnership?
Have my charisma.
We didn't get to where we are in Ricky's charisma.
Nah, just pretty much.
There's got to be times when Ricky
I
fucking
think
annoys you or some shit.
We
You know
brought
what I
in maybe like 2 arguments, but were arguments, not fights. Pretty much discussions where
It doesn't get to the disrespectful point.
No, we've never got into that.
No. There's no point. The way Ricky is, there's no point in being disrespectful. He doesn't do stuff maliciously or to lose money. Obviously, nobody does that. And again, we're so opposite in our
how to take things, how to take news.
Yeah. I take things more serious. I know how to joke around. I actually joke around a lot, but I take things more serious.
What? Tell us a joke.
Knock knock.
Who's there?
I'll be in the office, especially when it's closing time when we're getting close. I'll be doing the robot in there. I'll put on Ricky's glasses and start acting like Ricky, like popping my head up like a mole. He'll pop his head around the door like Kramer on Seinfeld. Ricky's funny, so I joke around, but I take things more serious. Ricky is very lighthearted. He'll laugh. If I'm yelling at Ricky, he'll just laugh, and it makes me more mad.
Yeah,
but
well, I'll do it on purpose.
Yeah. We've never got into I've never been mad at Ricky. Like
just discussions where we don't agree to the same thing.
We've had disagreements on how things should be done, or a certain. I
would say considering how to treat some truck driver, not treat them, but
not treat them.
No, not treat them. How do I say it? When truck drivers mess up, instead of me being chillax about it, he's more like, no, you got to get more authority on them.
Yeah, we have, this is something that went wrong, and it cannot happen again. And we need to make sure that the driver knows that it can't.
And I'm more like, as a truck driver, like, hey, man.
Take an example, the loads that got returned.
Like, man, shut the fuck up. Like,
I've gone through that.
Because we know we fucked up too. But then, like, when you feel like they're rubbing it in, like. Okay. But then again, if I already apologized, then. No, I think it gives you.
Yeah.
It lets you know that I know.
If a driver, again, I'm not going to be specific, but if a driver knows, and then the way they're talking, that they know. But when it happens twice, 3 times, 4 times.
Okay, yeah, well, that's different.
Yeah.
And then we're still chillax about it.
That's when it starts getting like, what the fuck's going on?
Yeah. Now I'm like, Rick, what the fuck?
Yeah, like what the fuck?
How do you deal with that? If sometimes people are just like that, like they're just gonna be like that, or that's their style, like they're too chill, but.
Ricky's not too. Ricky, when Ricky needs to be serious, Ricky's serious.
No, I mean a driver.
Oh,
a driver that knows that you. Oftentimes you've told them something, and they still don't get it, but they don't even do it intentionally. That's just how they are. Like
that's what we're kind. It's kind of hard, especially right now. Like, so what do you do? I mean, short of drivers, it's not like we're just keeping them just because we need drivers. To be honest,
like Ricky had mentioned earlier, these guys aren't
not worth it to keep a driver if you're losing.
They're not random drivers. They're friends. We're a small company. We built this around family mentality. It's not if a guy keeps doing that, we know he's probably not doing it maliciously. He's not doing it on purpose. He's just absent-minded, maybe.
Or
we need to remind him.
A lot, yeah.
Yeah. So it's nothing we'd ever fire anybody over. Nothing serious. But like air hoses, when you rip air hoses and you do it constantly.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like, dude, come on, just pay attention.
Yeah, stuff like that, little stuff like that, but nothing major that we had with drivers.
But then that's a risk you take as well. If you take new booties,
Yeah, exactly. Especially right now. I think more of the arguments that we had before too, aside from like you said, containers that we've had in for a long time that we need to engate them, and the only thing is
street turning, bro.
Yeah, or following.
Street turn them to who? To nobody wants them.
Those 20-footers that nobody wants.
Yeah. It's just following up with emails and communication, like I said, we grew too fast where we don't have the manpower.
We don't have a solid foundation. We're growing, but we haven't completed our foundation.
Mm-hmm.
So it's hard to get that balance of a good foundation, but still grow. Not only driver wise, but employee wise. And then again, Port Pro, we've been on Excel for 1.5 years. Port Pro is probably something we should have done a long time ago, but we're just doing it now. So it's a combination of things being thrown into the pot. And sometimes that's what Ricky and I struggled with Port Pro. Like, I'm like, Ricky, dude, what's the issue? We've been on this for 2 months. Like, use it. And Ricky's like, I'm busy I'm actually dispatching the drivers.
The old way.
Yeah,
the
right.
Way, yeah.
The way that we're comfortable with, the way that we know,
That's the thing. Comfortable.
Yeah. And not only that, to get the drivers, like we said, the drivers have to imagine us learning it and the drivers at the same time and dispatching them and being like how we are.
Yeah, being able to continue the workflow.
Happen.
Right.
It's gonna have to happen.
So that's where Ricky and I's like that's one example of a disagreement or an argument we've had. But again, we're I understand where he's coming from when he says these things and why he's not using it exclusively and still relying on Excel.
Like you see the value, but it's like moving out. Like you can't take everything in one shot.
Right.
Little by little, you're moving into that.
I understand that, and I understand, but we need to do it in steps. And Ricky understands what I'm saying. Yeah, we did pay for it. We need to use it. It is a good tool. And so he sees my point, and I see his point, and that. Again, that's why we've in the 1.5 years, 2 years, we haven't had any major disagreements or arguments or where we've been mad at each other.
Mm-hmm. There's no point because obviously we're still. I mean, look where we're at right now with the company. It's like there's no point.
It's like a marriage, in a way.
Yeah, exactly. His wife hates me for calling me so much, but
I probably talk to Ricky more than I talk to my wife.
Yeah,
it's normal. In the beginning, when we started, since we started from both our houses, we literally on the phone 24/7.
Yeah.
It was, who's calling you now? Why even ask? But,
I take that back. I was mad at Ricky one time on a Monday. You remember that Monday you didn't come in because you were
Ricardo.
Ricardo. Yeah, I went MIA.
Yeah, because he partied too hard on Sunday night, knowing we had work Monday.
I still worked, but I worked the first 3 hours, the dispatching.
You worked on getting up.
No,
I dispatched the morning ones, and after that, I passed out.
I thought he got kidnapped. I thought a cartel had him.
Yeah. But that was in the beginning.
But we worked through that.
Then you let him know, hey, this is
it's time to grow up, man.
How did that talk go? Like, hey, it's time, man. We're doing this. We can't.
Luckily we were slow that day. Luckily, so I already knew.
Lewis, that's how the conversation went. It was like, excuses. We have drivers. I take it personal because it's not just our livelihood; it's the drivers. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? These guys have families. These guys have to make their money, and for us to just not show up. This is going back to a fight we've already had. This was a long time ago. This was like a year ago.
It was a funny fight.
Yeah, it was. He thinks it was funny, but
no, but you have to see the details.
Yeah. So
but
again, you
guys are gonna end up arguing here.
I think so.
You think it's funny?
You want to see a fight?
You think I'm a clown? Huh?
You think when I talk,
saying it's funny? You think I'm joking?
I'm a clown. I amuse you. I'm here to amuse you. What's
funny?
That's
how it goes.
You said it was funny.
I'm getting nervous.
No, but
that's
funny.
Joe Pesci, I think.
In the office, it's funny in the office because he talks like that sometimes, and the girls are like just staring at us like, "What the hell's going on?"
Yeah, they'll say like, "Well, it's tense. Like, are you guys fighting?" It's like me and Ricky are laughing like, "No,
we're flirting."
Yeah, that's flirting to us.
So I don't think we've ever gotten into like a marriage fight. It's just been like a discussion, pretty much. Mm-hmm. What's the same thing? It's funny because everybody's. Family-wise, the same thing. You didn't even know this guy. You're putting, your money and stuff like that into it.
But then family screws family sometimes.
Yeah, exactly. But, obviously, the same thing with his wife, knowing that he got screwed over in another company.
Well, it goes both ways. Then you both had a risk.
Yeah. And that's why I told Ricky, I was like, so we're both equally invested. We need to both be equally invested financially. So if I lose, you lose. So you actually have something to gain from not screwing me over.
Mm-hmm.
And you have a lot to lose if he ends up not giving a shit.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. It's worked out for some reason. It just clicked. Even though we're two different people.
Does it get complicated as far as like when you go like 50-50 or 51-49? 51-49 because I was here first, or
no? Everything's cut. No. Everything's cut. Every decision we've made, even side businesses.
You're trying to start something.
Is that in your business or what? Like, is that too much to ask?
No.
That's a 50-50 or how do you guys work it out?
50-50.
I
don't...
Any dime that goes in, any dime that comes out is 50-50.
If I take out extra $100 because I forgot my wallet,
Yeah.
I tell them, hey, I took out 100. Here's 100 for you.
Or I forgot. Yeah, that happens to me a lot. I forget. I lose a lot of my debit cards in my wallet. So I'll buy something, and I'll tell Ricky. I'm like, hey, bro, Zelle yourself because I bought this.
Yeah, stuff like that.
How do you categorize all your stuff? Like for the business expenses, like do you have someone?
I use
that works it?
use QuickBooks, and it's fucked up. Our books are fucked up.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just hired an accountant.
I got some from last year. I got like 900 unitemized. Or how do you say it?
Okay.
Shit, I don't
They're
know.
all just in one.
Yeah,
I let the account do
like
it.
you literally have to go and
Yeah.
you know, and I'm like, I don't want to touch it. 'Cause I
Wait,
don't
you have
wanna fuck up.
$900 or
like,
items?
like 900 transactions.
Oh yeah,
that I haven't.
Shit, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, for their taxes and shit.
Same with mine.
It could go wrong, huh? If I put it in the wrong spot or what.
Oh, it depends on who's doing your taxes on what you're doing.
Yeah.
But
So all that is you categorize it for your CPA to just be
Yeah,
like,
but he's asked us for our actual bank transactions for the year, so he'll double check it.
oh, because I heard you could give them your CPA like a pin and they log into your QuickBooks.
Yeah, I've done that. I don't know if he's logged in, but I have given him access.
Did you have to go to the bank for that? Someone told me
No.
you have to go to the bank.
No.
And authorize them.
For the
because your
QuickBooks? No.
QuickBooks is
so separate.
yeah, you log into the bank and then it downloads all your transactions and then it keeps it running. So every day it refreshes, and then you give your accountant access.
Like a third party.
But
But they can't log into the bank.
Okay, but they can't see the balance as well.
I don't know if they can see the balance.
See what I mean? Like this
but
little.
but if your accountant, if he's doing your books, then he knows your balance because he
Yeah.
knows where you've spent and how much you've made. Your
But
incoming
all
and
the
outgoing.
critical numbers though, like your routings and all that shit, like you know what I mean.
No, does it come up?
No, that doesn't come
Come
out.
up,
No,
no.
it's just the last four of a bank number.
So even you guys at this stage are like, you don't have a CPA yet.
No, yeah, we're behind. We just got a CPA in January, or last month, and we're already over with the tax year, so we're way behind.
Are you guys new at the tricks of, you know what I mean? Some people maximize, because I've learned already that a business write-off is kind of just, it's a bonus because it's money that,
Well,
you know what I
that's
mean?
It reduces your
Yeah.
taxable income.
That's what we're learning right
but
now,
you still
especially with
benefit
them.
from it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like a company vehicle.
yeah,
It's practically paying for itself, and then
right. Because
on
that's,
top of that, you get a write-off.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
you know what I mean?
But
Like
what's a
little
write-off?
tricks like that.
Yeah. We've let accountants handle it, or not accountants. Yeah, they've been just tax preparers do those. But now we're at the stage where we need a CPA to tell us what's legitimate and what's not, and what you can do.
How we could use it on our benefit.
Yeah,
Because you could do anything right now, but it's a matter of when you get audited.
yeah, that's what we're
when
trying to
you're-
avoid.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why we're going with the CPA now, is to help sort all that out.
When you started, how did you establish the company credit? Is it true that you got to have good credit yourself
Yeah,
from the
because
get-go?
you have to personally sign.
Well,
Ricky's
we
still
did it-
signing loans
we-
for the company.
Yeah,
'cause-
but not only that, it took us a while especially we got like, let's say, a business loan from QuickBooks. It was like $5,000 the first
Yeah.
one because our EIN was so new.
Speaking to the mic.
Oh, sorry, was so new. But it took us like half a year until QuickBooks started seeing
our income
growth and all
transactions
that.
and our banking records, and then now. So QuickBooks does loans. I don't know how long they've started. It's fairly new, and they'll tack on their percentage, and you pay it back every month, and they'll give you apply, and then they'll tell you what they'll let you borrow for how long and at what percentage rate. So we've borrowed up to
How
like
convenient, huh? They see like the money going through, and they're like, huh.
So depending on how
That's
much,
a good bet for
so that's a
them.
good
Good
way.
gamble.
But for us to get a loan to pay, $100 a month in interest and whatever the principal is, to go out and get a truck to make, $1,000 a month or $1,000 a week, whatever it is, yeah, we're losing 100 on interest, but we're gaining 1,000 on
the
work.
truck.
So
Numbers, huh? The magic of numbers. If you know your shit.
yeah, I don't know. I pretend to know, but to me, as long as you're bringing in more than you're putting out, to be very specific or very simple, it works.
Is everyone good? I think I'm gonna go to the restroom. Take a
Oh, no,
break.
está bien. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Give me a minute.
Oh, you can put pause or should
No,
we?
I'm gonna let it roll.
No, he's gonna let it roll and then
And
do his
then-
little speed up.
Because
Nah, then I could.
what if
If anyone wants to take a break. Here we go. Who inspires you and why?
Mike Jones.
Mike Jones?
Mike Jones.
I still know the number. 281-330-8004. That's the number you could reach me on. When you call, ask for Mike Jones. Right?
Yeah.
Did you ever call?
I was speaking
I
about
called. I called.
Yeah.
I think it went to a voicemail. It went to like a non-existent number.
a product line.
Horrible customer service.
What did you call? Or what did you get when you called?
I called. I don't remember what I got, but
okay.
I know I called for sure.
That was like back what, 04, 05?
Ultimate marketing right there,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah, so you guys are over 30?
What?
Oh, hold on. You want to start this? All right. Well, let's not start.
I'm 35.
Are you 35?
Yeah.
How old would you think we are? We never even got to that.
I don't think that's appropriate. But
Is it?
My grandfather.
If you say it this way, how young are you?
there
yeah.
you go. There you go.
Yeah. I don't know. I think I'm 32.
You don't know how old you are?
No. After 30, I didn't keep count. My wife reminds me though.
Mm.
Yeah.
That's a good way of thinking it.
How old are you?
We would
sir?
hope she remembers your birthday.
Yeah. No, she remembers my
Yeah.
birthday. Yeah.
What else is on the list, Luis?
Oh, you don't want to say your age, Mr. 45?
Oh.
Yeah. What?
So you like Mike Jones? Okay, cool. Well, what would you do differently if you could go back in time? You could only change one thing though. Like, what would it be?
Trucking? I mean, or just in general?
Do not say Mike Jones, man.
No, I'm saying just in general or trucking wise? Just in general?
I wouldn't change anything.
Thomas.
Yeah.
I wouldn't change anything because everything I've went through. I have a beautiful family now. What I went through, that's how I met Ricky. And it literally just by
Everyone
happenstance.
says something similar. I'm not even gonna ask that anymore. It's like, are you saying what
No,
they
'cause
want to hear, or is that what you really want to say?
You run into someone that has a bad situation and said they know where it started. That the bad situation started.
Okay.
You know, and
Yeah.
I'm just throwing it out there. You know, a bad thing at the house and it just plateaued.
Butterfly.
You know, the butterfly effect. There you go. And then now they're in a bad situation. You know, so for me, I'm in a good situation. I
You
love
know
where
what?
I'm
I'll
at.
take that back. That was very wrong of me because that question would change depending on who it is, right?
Yeah.
So it's like it's like, how dare you not have a bad experience and tell me that you would have changed it? You know what I mean? So not everyone has to have a bad experience.
We've talked about my bad experience. I got robbed of a company I started from the ground up.
Yeah.
So if that
Because
didn't,
my name wasn't on paperwork. You
and
know
if
what I
that
mean?
didn't happen, he wouldn't have been over here.
Yeah. You know, so.
So we need to stop this whole like, oh, this happened back then. Like, let it go, right?
Yeah, let it go. I let it go. Right after that, my wife was like, you've done it once, you can do it again.
You know, I don't think I'm gonna ask that anymore because it kind of reminds people. It makes them scan like all the
bad.
You right?
No, but the
Who
same
knows?
thing
I
like
might
how
forget.
the main thing like how you said. I mean, it happened. The bad stuff happened for a reason.
Yeah.
What's your favorite thing about the industry?
Damn. A favorite thing from
For me,
Yeah.
it's like a puzzle. Every day is something different. You got to figure out how that day is going to fit. And my mind works 24/7. And so that's what I like about this industry is not every single day, not up, probably every minute, every hour is different. So
it's the same thing
that's
as
for me.
it's the same thing as truck driving. To be honest, when I was driving, it's every day is a different day at the port. You know, I mean,
Yeah,
the same thing, but
it is.
you see some crazy shit that entertains you. The same thing as when we're in dispatch.
Like a circus out there?
Yeah, the same thing with dispatch. The messages we get and shit from drivers, it's like fuck. It's crazy shit. Every day is something different, but the same happens. I guess you could say. It's entertaining.
If not in this business, what would you be doing?
That's a very good question.
Oh, thank you.
Probably, probably.
It's like you write these questions down ahead of time. Like you
Yeah.
know what you want to ask.
Oh no, this is coincidence.
I don't know. Probably an astronaut. Something normal. The basics. The doctor.
An astronaut, something normal.
Yeah.
Something normal, yeah. Something attainable.
Yeah, something's basic.
I wanted to be a cop when I was growing up. I wanted to
Yeah.
be a police officer. Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I was thinking something else.
Never worked out.
Did you get to go on a ride along?
I did a ride along with the Pomona PD it wasn't the chief of police. It was like the second in command, and that was a good experience. Pomona, there's a lot of crime. Still is. This was back in 06, 07.
Pomona crime? Nah.
So I had a good experience, and I wanted to be a police officer. You know, since I could remember. It just never worked out. Nothing on my record or anything. Just didn't
Just
work
didn't
out.
line up. Wasn't
Didn't
meant
yeah,
to be.
Yeah.
What about you?
Me? A soldier Like go to the army.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I want to do too. When, but I
Take that laugh back, or you're gonna get canceled.
No,
by
that's
all
all
the
like.
troops.
I was like, what? That's 'cause I was thinking the day that.
that's Ricardo speaking.
No, that's
Ricky's Transport supports the troops.
Okay.
That's what I was-
Good save. Hey, good save. Hey.
I was thinking the day that Trump said that he was gonna go to war. But
Here we go. Let's not.
Oh no, I was just saying. It was funny when he mentioned.
Let's stay away.
These are their opinions, and I value their opinion. But yeah. So, what do you gotta say about Trump?
Oh no, he mentioned one day that he was gonna go to war, but for some reason his spine or like something.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So he evaded war.
Yeah, so that's I thought you were joking about it. So
Oh no, I got this.
Oh
that?
shit!
What is that? Surgery from head injury?
I didn't get to go. I was already enrolled and everything, and then it was Thanksgiving night, and I wanted to go out and hang out with friends, and ended up drinking, and we flipped the car over, and I wasn't wearing a seatbelt, so I hit the side of the window.
Fuck.
Are you serious? And that's literally before you were gonna go and roll?
Literally, Thanksgiving.
That you were gonna roll the next.
You know, they set it up to where like you spend Thanksgiving with your
Yeah.
family, and then over
Uh-huh.
the weekend, Monday you ship out to basic training.
Yeah.
So that
And
changed
there-
your whole life pretty much.
Yeah, I never made it.
Damn.
I was even still kind of being fooling around like with the helicopter people
Mhm.
because I got airlifted from
Are you serious?
and and I'm like, well, this is not the way I wanted it ended up to be on a helicopter, but at least I got it.
You got the experience before?
Yeah, it's really it vibrates a lot. It was
can
killing
imagine.
me, like,
Yeah.
but it's like the fastest way out of there,
Yeah.
And
Where was this at? What city?
up by Fresno County?
Oh, okay.
Damn.
Yeah, that's
So-
where I grew up, Fresno.
So that
Fresno
changed
County.
That changed your whole life. Imagine
Yeah. At first I was like upset that I never made it because like where I grew up, it's like not that many opportunities at the
Mhm.
time.
Yeah.
So like leaving, and I just had this whole image in my mind like I'm gonna leave, I'm gonna come back, like something about coming back a soldier.
Yeah,
and
coming
like,
back a better
like,
man.
you know, like-
Yeah. Yeah.
and it didn't work out that way. So, but I did get to go on a helicopter ride. You know?
your dream came true.
I got a lot of staples and shit. So.
Damn, that's crazy.
So I would have gone, but then I couldn't literally couldn't sleep like for days.
Mm-hmm.
My head was all swollen, and I'll move around. It's like I got lost, like dizzy,
Yeah.
And then what do you want to call it? Not migraines, but it was just some headaches that wouldn't go away. And it's like, how am I gonna get through basic training?
Yeah.
Like if I can't even fucking
So
tie
you-
my shoes without
yeah.
feeling like I'm gonna pass out,
Yeah.
Damn.
So eventually it just didn't work out because I had got
They told you, never mind. We don't
Yeah.
need you.
no, I got out somehow. My mom had signed for me because I was a minor.
Oh, okay.
I kept bothering her
Mhm.
like sign.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because you either gotta be 18 or have a high school diploma.
Oh, okay.
So I got my GED because by then I had already got expelled. So I went and got all my whatever I needed to do to get that GED. And then the recruiter, he knows where to get him.
Yep.
Hey guys, you want to
Yep.
change your life?
Yeah.
You want to change your
Yeah.
Have you ever been deployed?
You want to be a man?
Yeah. So yeah, that's how it was.
We support the troops.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
That's-
that goes back to because I remember then you talked about I remember a story. You said your dad was a truck driver and you came down to.
He still is. Yeah.
You're still a truck driver.
Yeah.
So you came down and did that for a little bit, right?
Yeah.
And then you went off to do something else, and you came back to being a truck driver.
Yeah.
That's the prisoner of the road. It calls you back.
Yeah. For some reason,
You hear that from a lot of people.
it keeps calling. Sometimes you just gotta accept it. I guess
Yeah.
what's calling you. Like
Yep.
you go out. I've purposely tried to do other things, and I always end up with like containers. And,
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
So now I just wanna really, really embrace it. Like
Yeah.
and
No, you have really well.
and
I
make,
think. Yeah.
make it the
Mhm.
best that I can.
Yeah.
You know, to have other people be proud to haul containers, and it's
No,
like
I
it's like
think- I think-
supporting this hustle
Yes.
mentality that
Yeah.
we're getting it. You know.
Yep.
And now more than ever, I feel right now it's like trying to bring awareness to the situation
Mm-hmm.
and getting everyone on the same page in
Yeah.
a way that like, hey, I know my value.
Right here, I think, to be honest, what you have here, knowing that you have a lot of followers, is kind of making people understand from both sides or from all ends.
Mhm.
Pretty much on the dispatching side, on the port side, on the owner operators and company drivers. If you could get all that together to be honest, I think a lot of people would understand more why things are happening, and why things, they are how they are.
Yeah, there might be a guy out there that wants to start a company, and then he thinks it's easy, and then when he hears your story, then he'll go in a little more prepared.
Yeah,
where if he didn't,
exactly.
he would have probably failed.
Exactly.
So I'm thankful that people share their perspective, and like, kind of like gems, like this will benefit someone in one way or another.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure you guys also benefited from someone else contributing to your,
Giving
in
us
one
some
way or
knowledge.
another.
Yeah.
Someone, I don't know, either you pay it forward or you don't, but the whole thing around it is push everyone forward to maximize their role in this industry.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people,
there's enough for everybody. I used to hate people used to say they don't want to tell you, thinking that they're going to take away their work. There's enough for everybody. It's just depends on their mentality.
And that's why I had mentioned I helped 2 other people set up their companies while I was with Ricky. And I told Ricky, I was like, hey, these guys want information. I'm going to help them out, but I'm not dealing with them. I'm just helping them get there. There's more than enough work for everybody, And if these guys, I'm not paying anything forward because nobody really helped me in this industry. I learned from the ground up. But again, there's more than enough work. If these guys want to start their own companies, I'll definitely share my experience and how to go about it.
We were thinking, hopefully, we thought they were going to help us and want to unite and, with another little company.
Yeah,
but
Ricky's like, hey, we had a lot of work. Ricky's like, hey, reach out to that guy you helped. And see if it didn't end up working out for whatever reason. and Ricky's like, you helped him and he doesn't want to help us?
But you know what it's like because you're tied up with your customers. And it's like...
Yeah.
No, but there's a lot of ways, little carriers like us, that we can help out each other and unite and attack the bigger companies.
Okay.
Yeah,
but
that's what
we wanted to do.
Yeah, that's what we try to
initially.
reach out to other companies, like small companies like us, and hey, let's team up and try to do something and grow into a larger company. We can still be our own separate company, but let's take away let's make our pie bigger from these large companies that are just killing the industry.
Yeah.
But we still haven't gotten.
Because I think those big corporations, they're kind of doing what you wanted to do with little companies, but they're doing it with big companies.
Yeah.
And they all make sure that they stay dominant.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
And that's what I was getting at with this. I want to put more people on to where, like, and some people will have a different perspective. Like, why should we take advice from someone that, because most would say I failed as an owner-operator or this or that. But I took it like a lesson because to be honest, deep down, like, I felt like the driving took time from, going all in on this. So in a way, although it seems like a bad thing, it was kind of a blessing.
Yeah, it worked out.
Because I would have never been like really like going full time on this,
Yeah.
So, and I think I lost my train of thought where I was going with that. But
you didn't fail as an owner operator. You took it as a lesson.
So if I could get other owner operators to not fail as owner operators, then did I really fail? Because
True.
You know what I mean? It's like we're all one team. So if they make it, then they represent the industry, and it's good. Everyone wins.
I think that's one thing you should do is bring some owner operators with company drivers, and so they could both see pretty much what's the ups and downs, and at least to see if it's worth it or not. Because for some people it's worth it, but to be honest, if you don't have the time
you
for
have
it,
to have the mentality of an owner
and the
operator.
time, you have to have the time. I feel like you have to have the time because if you don't have the time to take care of your own truck, then we don't even have time for our trucks. So we rely sometimes on the company drivers to help us out and take care of it. But it is what it is.
Because I feel like owner operators is like going extinct in a way. Like
it's because these large companies are putting all these restrictions. They're lobbying and they're forcing little companies out of business. Yes, very expensive. It's expensive in California to operate, and they claim clean air, whatever they claim. And it's not. It's because somebody put money in your pocket. These large companies.
What are you doing about the new trucks when you guys are prepared within the year?
We all our trucks we've purchased are 2014s and up.
Except one. Yeah, but
we have one truck
that we could easily
that's old,
use.
but we bought it cheap from one of our drivers that, didn't. It broke down, and we said, okay, well, we'll buy it and we'll fix it. And
did you hear that November of this year is the last month to put a diesel truck in the program?
In the clean truck program? I did not hear that.
Oh, before it shuts off? Oh, shit.
Before they don't accept diesel trucks.
Diesel trucks?
Really?
Yeah.
No, I didn't hear that.
And I think that's why right now they're really expensive, even if they're old.
Yeah.
Shit. We bought a Volvo day cab for like $35,000 last year. 2020, like beginning of 2020. They're going for like $65K right now.
Like, what would happen then? Let's say you had all old trucks like mine that are going out effective January 1st, 2023.
Yeah.
Your fleet is made up of that. And right now you want the new trucks, but it's not available. Like, that would
Well, that's where he started talking about having different, eggs somewhere else, because if this is our only thing...
If all your eggs were in old trucks,
it's
not good.
We do have something planning. Hopefully it'll help us out, but you never know where the industry's going to take you either way.
Yeah.
Especially with all the stricts and all the restrictions.
That every year there's something, huh? Have you noticed?
Yeah.
Will it ever end? Like, and it's all stuff that the big corporations can
afford,
they can handle.
It's California.
It's like, it doesn't make sense. Like,
Yeah.
what? They're gonna start charging me to take a shit at some point. Like,
that's what I tell Ricky all the time. It's like, California is so strict on it. They want to control every single thing you do. They want to tax every little dollar. It's about money and control. So. And
we'll still stay here though.
Yeah, unfortunately, but nothing else like SoCal.
You guys got any side hustles at the moment? Or you're going, all your time is in the company?
No, we do.
Well, we don't have time, but there is side hustles.
Yeah, they're being worked on by other people. I'm a part owner of a pool hall bar in Ontario.
Okay.
With my brother and another friend. So he does that full time. So he manages it full time.
Okay.
While I do this, and then.
So you're doing it to where like one business supports the other, so it kind of
luckily I had that business. And then Ricky has another business.
Okay.
Luckily, so when we started this company, I had to pull money. We had to pull.
We did a couple of loans.
Like probably $300,000, credit cards, savings. I don't know if Ricky did his second mortgage on his house. I don't know if it got to that point. I think he was going to.
Yeah, but it helps to have that asset.
Yeah, I had to pull money from the pool hall to, I had to ask my brother and my other partner. I was like, hey, I need to pull $80,000, but I will pay it back with interest. Just give me like 2 or 3 weeks, and it got paid back. But it's nice to have separate assets. But Ricky, I'll let Ricky talk about his side hustle.
Well, I have 2 tortilla routes for Mission Guerrero. It's just my dad and my brother-in-law running one of them, 2 routes each with the route, but nothing to do with Ricky's Transport. It's just a side business.
Yeah,
like tortilla route, like
they deliver tortillas to like Stater Brothers, Cardenas, Superior, and shit like that.
So like a box truck or something.
Yeah, exactly. Just doing deliveries.
Oh, that's a little side gig. That's not drayage related.
No, nothing. And I started that before the same thing. Before that. So the same thing, we both have responsibilities where obviously our main thing is Ricky's Transport, but we still both have our shit on the side. So that's why it's kind of like he has his shit. I don't need to fuck him over because I have my shit going on. So, but first we still help out each other no matter what. I mean, I've told him I needed some money to take out to buy another box truck, so he let me take out some money to buy a box truck, and he got his share too. So the same thing.
If you could change one thing about the ports, what would it be? And you would have your way. It's like, but it's only one thing.
People's attitudes.
Yeah, people's attitude.
I think that would change a lot. Everything would change.
I want to say the longshoreman and the way, when you go through roadability, even with their own chassis, you're missing a fucking tail light. You can't take that box out. Well, it's not your responsibility for me and my tail light on my chassis that I own, that I'm going down the road with,
Damn, bro, it's just one thing.
But it's my box.
No, it's not.
I've been told that before,
Lines.
that it's the terminal's box.
No, it's not. It's the
Steamship Line, yeah.
And it's not their.
But the box is coming out here,
and it's not their chassis neither.
It's not. Yeah, but it's not your chassis. Your responsibility as roadability is the chassis, and this is not even a port chassis. You have no authority.
So don't
over
fall
the
for that when they claim that it's a safety issue because they're still.
I would say I wouldn't fall for it. I've never talked to a roadability person like that. I wouldn't.
But the can's not yours. Yeah. That's the comeback.
No, they've told me before, like, hey, if CHP is out there and they catch you and they know you brought this chassis out from here, we're gonna get in trouble.
Right? They try to make it some big thing, but it's
is that true though? That's what I meant.
That's not true.
No.
I don't think CHP is gonna go inside 8 p.m. Hey, which one of these roadability guys let this guy out without one month flat?
Some shit they talk.
Because the Gloria Stefan story.
No.
That's why they have roto. A long time ago, her tour bus got rear-ended by a container hauler, and that's how it happened.
Yeah, no, I've never heard that.
She had surgery on her back and all that shit. So
big lawsuit, and then they started the.
So they do that whole
well,
following
I'm okay with roadability, but for them to send you to the actual roadability to wait there for an hour or so just to get something, you know, something minimal changed, I think sometimes they're just out to get you.
Yeah, I would change it. I guess that goes through what Ricky said: mentality, people's attitudes.
If it's a bolt tire, if it's a bolt tire or something like that, because you know sometimes they have the PM, it's due, but the chassis is perfect.
Yeah.
Why not wait until, you know, it's someone drops it or whatever? If the chassis is good, if the chassis is bad, I understand, but it's kind of still like, hey, just because the date's out and we have to do another inspection, because you know some chassis they don't even get inspected for like a year.
I heard like the BIT is, if you got an expired BIT, it's easier to get off the hook with that because they'll do it faster. But the federal takes more time, and they don't want to.
It's the same thing. It's just a different sticker. They check the same stuff.
They say they take longer on that. No,
that's because they want to.
More
no, but they take longer.
They could bill more for it.
Oh yeah, it's getting interesting.
You know what's funny? One of the things about the chassis is,
I'm gonna have a chassis guy come on. I already had one.
That'd be good.
Okay,
episode number 5. If you guys want to know,
that'd be good.
The point of view of a chassis mechanic. But I'll have another one come on shortly. So, like, what question should I ask him? A chassis mechanic.
Maybe some ways of how to easy fix. That'll be a good way.
Why are they stopping? You've been it. You know what to ask. You've dealt with them.
But I'm curious.
You've experienced.
What would you
ask? Why are you why are you flipping drivers for no reason? Why aren't you just changing the tire that needs to be changed? My first dispatch job at, when I was in Chino, a driver actually had a dash cam and saw when the driver in front of him went through roadability, the mechanic broke the light, and then
I think I got the same video.
Sent him to the. Sent him to the flip line.
Yeah.
It's like.
No, this one was more of a right then and there.
Yeah.
But they say they were dim, so they needed to be replaced. So like all 4, bam, bam, bam.
Oh shit! No.
Bam. Yep. Gotta add one more bam. And
no, this was back in 2016,
on the spot.
17.
Yeah.
No, they didn't change. They made them flip.
Oh, for that?
Yeah.
Oh man, you could have done that there.
Right. So ask them why do mechanics do that?
Well, one thing I found out for sure, it's a lot of like the attitude, like how you treat them. There's some drivers that are rude as fuck.
No, yeah, there is.
But they're also rude mechanics. So it's like when you catch them, it's like they already went through it with a driver, so now you're fucked.
Yeah.
Because he set the mood for the day.
Yeah.
You know?
One thing that I wanted to know is, you know how when we had chassis and they were all stacked up, you know how they have their own sections that they're all messed up already. Why not refurbish them or try to fix them before? Because they have thousands of them.
Because the bill's too high. Because to change a light is $1,000. To change a tire is, who knows how much.
Yeah, that's the thing. They're not getting approved.
Right.
So, but okay, now we know that. So what do we do?
Yeah.
Is that it? They're not getting
just leave
approved.
them there.
The story ends there.
Yeah.
But what can we do to put pressure on whoever's not approving them?
And not only that,
why are they not approving it? It's because it's too expensive. It's the end of the day. It's about the money.
They don't want to put a Mickey Mouse on it. They want to hold it. One of the things I would want to know is why not have a better system. You know how they hold off chassis for the boat. Why not have a better system on flipping 1-to-1? Hey, okay, one driver gets the chassis while they wait for the molita. To get the just 1-to-1 instead of making them wait literally.
That's what happens at Trade Pack. You take an empty in, and there's a chassis available because that driver drops the empty in, and there's a chassis available, but they save them for the ship. So a driver can't bobtail in. They never let bobtails in for like a couple months now. But you see truckers bobtailing out because they drop their container and chassis. But if you go in there to drop an empty, they won't let you take the chassis out. They'll say, no, that's our chassis. That's a port chassis. That stays here. So drivers can't bobtail in to get chassis that you're making me leave here, but you won't let me take it out to go get a load from another terminal. So
that's
it's a cycle. Everything, all the shit falls to the trucker.
They control it.
Everything comes down on the trucker. So we have to figure it out. We have to strategize on what to do, how to get our boxes out.
Yeah, and not only that, that's why there are a lot. I mean, for us especially, we used to do a lot of dual transactions, empty and load out. But right now, you have to find out ways how to get around that and borrow chassis, I guess you could say.
You know what was funny? That I would take in something with the hopes that my what I'm taking out is the same size as the chassis, but all of a sudden they want to drop that on wheels.
Yeah.
But I needed the chassis.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like, it makes no fucking
Yeah.
sense.
No, it doesn't.
Then I can't find a chassis, and then, man.
Oh, one thing I always fucking hate it. I know a lot of guys do this shit. I hate it when people were driving around in bobtails, just following people with chassis. Hey, are you gonna drop it? Are you gonna drop it? And then we're over here like 20 of us waiting in line. And I understand you're hustling, but to be honest, there's a better way, man. Screwing someone over.
Yeah.
I
When I
don't
was
like
driving,
that.
I always went to put the chassis because I've been in that line. So
Yeah.
I always put the chassis back.
Yeah, I would lie. I would lie and be like, "Oh, I'm gonna use it," and then I'll just go straight over there.
Yeah.
Cause it's I think it's fucked up, to be honest.
Yeah.
You're hustling, but you're just fucking over the next person. Wait your turn.
There is a system, whether it's fucked up or not. You know, it's the system that's most fair. It's whoever was first in line. You know, it's not the driver's fault that there's no chassis. So that's why that was my justification of just taking it back, because that was the first guy that was there.
Yeah.
So
But that's not gonna change either.
Yeah.
I've been a chucho.
No, I know
I've been a bad chucho.
That's not gonna change. You know, if someone drops it and tells you they're gonna drop it, you're like, well, fuck it, I'll take it. But it's not you gonna tell them, nah, bro.
Were you those guys driving around?
No, back then we had like our little crew that back with the chirps and all that.
Yeah.
I would carry red spray paint and then pick a row, whatever, leave it, and then leave the landing gear all fucked up, really low.
So it looks like
we
it's
all
fucked
had
up.
ramps. We all had ramps. So and then spray a big fat red dot.
Yeah.
It had no significance other than it kind of like you see a red dot, you're searching.
Yeah.
You see that red dot, you're like, nah, keep going, right? So then we had red and black.
Yeah.
Red, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
get this one, red dot, hook up. You know it's good.
Yeah,
'cause
yeah.
your homie told you.
Yeah.
And plus the wheels, the landing gear's already up. You're just gonna hook up,
Yeah,
put
yeah.
the line, and bounce.
Yep.
You know.
Yeah.
So that was one of the tricks. I don't know.
No, there's ways around it, but it's just like you said, obviously.
Yeah. Now the network
that's-
is so big, if we got to find a way to let each other know when we have good chassis, so we don't let the port take them. You know, in the terminal, put them somewhere, somehow to communicate. If a driver's coming in bobtail, I'll give you this chassis.
Yeah.
I saw you have a page.
I haven't been successful at making a group where people will respect for what it's for. Because I did one where I was thinking maybe it should be chassis only.
Yeah.
But then I don't know what it is. It just
Memes,
want
talking shit.
to share a picture of this and that, and then I'm like, I'm not going through that again. Just do what you want then, but don't complain that you can't. You know.
And you know what it is too?
You want to itemize it. This one's for chassis. This one's for street turns. This one's for this. But
you go and drop the chassis in the line, and then the forklift comes, picks it up, puts it back. You know, and that's why I say, the most efficient or the fairest is whoever's in line. But even dropping it is not safe.
It's not
because now the
safe.
forklift takes it.
And not only that,
they've been told they're for the ship.
Yeah.
And you think they're out to fuck you because we literally we've talked to them and then that's my job. Like, but
Yeah. No, I understand it's not the forklift operator's fault, but it's...
But you could still do 1-in-1. He could still be like, all right, this one I'll save it for this guy. The next one I'll save it for the, you know.
so
But
the superintendent comes.
yeah, why the fuck is there only 5 chassis up there instead
Or
of...
you know what? Use the million fucked up chassis you have to move just in the yard, because that's not going on the road. You know what I
That
mean?
would be great.
Yeah.
Just to put them on
But
wheels?
that makes too much sense. And does that make money?
No.
No.
Anything you guys wanna add before we finish?
We're done already? Oh, man. I was having
Unless
fun.
you want to keep going, I just ran out of
Hey,
questions.
I'm hungry, bro.
Oh, okay. My bad.
We live in Chino. We have to go back, you know?
Yeah, we work in Chino.
Yeah, so there's traffic Friday.
Yeah.
Oh shit, for real. Yeah.
No, I think what you're doing here is good. I think bring that up what you said. Try to bring people so you can start seeing everybody's perspective and everything. I think if you start bringing people from the port that actually
Yeah, I was
work
gonna
inside,
ask you,
that'll be beautiful. Because that I'm pretty sure you have a lot of questions to ask.
Yeah, it gets tricky because there's a lot of political correctness.
Yeah.
And
Like,
some guy didn't want to come because contract negotiations are
cover
on
their
the way.
face, cover their
So
face,
it's
a
like,
mask, cover their face and mask.
Ooh, yeah,
you know?
like
that's been a
You could change their voice to like those narco ones.
yeah, like
it could because there's separate tracks for each one.
ABC
so.
7, you know, undercover. Yeah.
Yeah, something
That'd
like
be
that would be cool.
That's what I was gonna do similar because I was gonna get the masks at Party City or I'm serious.
Sounds like a rape mask. I don't know.
No, like the
Like a
ones that is the whole face covered and it's
Like
white
a
or
like a
it's
Ronald
black.
Reagan
Not
mask?
like a Jason mask, but like a Phantom of the Opera, like you know what I mean? It's all one piece.
From Perch?
Yeah.
Just on the Perch one.
Where it looks really smooth. Which one? You know what I mean? Like imagine like a Jason mask without the holes, but really close to
The
your
Purge
face.
one. Is the Purge one, no?
I don't fucking know.
Is that the
Just
Purge?
get some pantyhose.
Yeah, just and change their voice.
Yeah.
That should do the magic.
And gloves too. Like, you know.
One thing too. Fuck, I just had it right now.
You have to tune in for the next episode, just to remember to see if he remembers.
Oh, if you could somehow, I know there's maps and everything for the ports.
Yeah.
But I think fuck, I would say some type of training for newbies at the ports would be that's something I think is always welcome, because there's no signal inside the ports, you know, so it's, a lot of times it's kind of hard to get a hold of someone. But fuck, if there's
And all
always
the
For
numbers are
on the
wiped
YouTube
off.
channel, I wanted to
Yeah.
do a lot of how-tos.
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
exactly.
And
That'd
then
be
do
cool.
one where like with a time lapse of certain
Yeah.
scenes
Yeah.
where like today we're going to Houston.
Yeah.
How do you
And,
get to the
but
flip
have a
line?
location sponsored.
Yeah.
So we're always gonna start from that location.
Mhm.
So we're here at blah blah blah.
Mm-hmm.
This is how you get from here to there,
Mhm.
and it's sponsored by them
Yeah.
and whatnot.
Mhm.
So that'd be like a lot of little trips, but you know what I mean?
That'd be good. Yeah.
And then
think-
along with tips on how to navigate through that terminal, because some are different. you
Yeah,
know?
no, that'd be, and then how to find chassis.
Allegedly,
air-
can you jack a chassis from this one?
Yeah,
We-
exactly.
Yeah,
Borrow.
a lot of drivers say steal. We say we don't
Yeah,
steal. Here.
we borrow.
Yeah, because it's accounted for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The scat code, wherever it came out of, that's keeping track of it.
Yeah,
sort of.
allegedly.
Yeah. Oh, you guys got magnets allegedly and all that good. Whew.
Yeah, but yeah, we'll stay tuned.
What do you want to add?
No, I'm good. I think that was
That was fun.
You have to add something. No, I'm just kidding.
yeah good because I have nothing. To
You
add.
guys are hungry, huh?
Somewhat.
So where can they reach you?
Oh, we didn't even. I had shit on Instagram. Ricky's _transport
Corp. Or-
_corp.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just look for the little prisoner
Yeah.
in the freeway sign.
We are looking for.
corny, huh?
We're looking for office people, and that's it. Office people for right now. For right now, office people.
Don't ask him. Say what you want to say, bro.
No, I
Tell
think
him.
just just office. Right? No, we don't need drivers. No drivers, just office people.
No drivers.
We don't have room for them right now.
Damn.
Yeah, that was cold.
It's true.
You're not needed right now, so then they ain't
That-
gonna be
that
over
was-
here
that wasn't-
begging you guys.
That was
huh?
unapproved.
Can you edit that out? No, I can't. All right, cool. Thank you so much for coming.
Yeah.
So far, there's no regrets.
We don't know where this is gonna take us to. Hopefully, let's see some good.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll
Cool.
see.
That's a long ass goodbye, but
Sign up now at portpro.io.
and mention Containeroz for
Yeah.
10% off.
Mention.
Sorry, guys. Mention. Okay. Anything else you want to say? No, I'm just kidding. All right.
no,
Thank you,
no.
guys. Bye.